It is early in the afternoon on a cloudy autumn day. We're currently in Lamashan, which is the equivalent of the autumn equivalent of Galarium, sort of October-ish, basically. But luckily, the clammy cold already setting in outside has no hold in the small two-story wooden building, with the sign outside depicting a rockfish with his fins up in a boxing pose. It's Brelder's Inn, the Rowdy Rockfish. A quaint and cozy establishment, famed and famous for being the exact opposite of rowdy. Perhaps the only such place in Ontario that has never once hosted a barroom brawl, frequented mostly by those who value rest and sustenance over entertainment and drink. It is here that Brelda has invited you to talk about a job opportunity. She has basically already given you the gist of it. We've talked about it to each of you, likely separately, likely after you paid her a visit in response to, a job posting on the local bulletin board, or maybe she got into talking with you somewhere in the streets, one of those things. The gist of it, to remind you, is as follows. About a year ago, her son and the previous proprietor of the inn disappeared. He was supposedly seen by a group of locals who said that they saw the red-bearded dwarf walking out of town with a hooded stranger carrying a lantern. Nobody has heard from him since, and Brelder has since then made peace with the fact that he's probably gone for good. The area around town is not without dangers. Maybe he wanted to disappear. Who knows? He's gone. Probably dead. There's nothing out there really of relevance. A recent fortune-telling by the tiefling Rin Savinsky, the local town eccentric and owner of the occult/curio shop called Rin's Wonders, however, has brought doubts, questions, and perhaps even a glint of hope for her. Hope or not, however, she was pretty clear when she proposed the job to you. It's basically a due diligence sort of affair. She doesn't expect a miracle. She doesn't expect you to turn up anything, really, but she feels like it's at least necessary for someone to look into it, and she certainly does not have the tools or time or skills to do it. The area outside the town has dangers enough that it needs to be a competent group of people. She can't pay that much, but it at least includes free food and, very much if you need it, a nice, clean place to sleep in her inn for at least a month, depending on how long your investigation takes, basically. She has invited you into her tavern, basically to get you acquainted to one another, to brief you a bit better, and hopefully give you a place to start, where you can start your investigation. I gotta learn your names. Rogar would likely already be in the tavern. As far as I'm aware, he basically has had a room in the tavern for the past few weeks at this point, even after his tavern collapsed.
Yeah, it's a real shame, but Cayden provides, and luck will have it of, he has gotten out more than he used to. Did the whole retired adventurer thing, but at this point, I mean, clearly that wasn't the plan. As the thirsty alpaca collapsed around him, he luckily his friend here at Brelda was kind enough to offer him some aid, and while he's thinking about how to get back on his feet and rebuild an inn, those things are not cheap, and he's also his source of income. So at the moment, he's spending his time just sort of a bit on tab, I suppose. Maybe making the place a little more rowdy than Brelda is entirely comfortable with.
Maybe Hin said, it's supposed to be a quaint affair. Although that said, Rogar would have been an inhabitant of the town long enough to know how the previous proprietor and the person you're basically investigating into The tavern was very different, or the inn was very different under his ownership, earning the name of the Rowdy Rockfish. It was mostly Brelder's direction that has taken it into a more quiet direction.
Yeah. Anyone who's been in the town for a while would certainly know Rogar, and his reputation for being a generally good fellow who is almost sort of too kind to be an effective businessman. He doesn't really keep track so much of the tabs. He likes to brew. He likes to be merry and hear good stories, and welcomes anyone or welcomed anyone into his tavern. But yeah, he's generally a friend of the town, but hasn't really hoarded any wealth or any sort of great renown, except for just enjoying life and having a good time. He never really was a good dwarf, sort of standing up to his traditions and such. He's a bit of a rebel in that regard, taking things a bit easy.
All right, it is then the long shape of, I guess, Dancer coming next. How about you? You describe your character for us.
Or I will be playing Dancer. Dancer is a fairly new person arriving in Atari. He has the air of someone who come far, perhaps. His clothes are not of Absalom or Otari make, clearly. They are expensive, well-made leather, and most of his tools and such that he brings with him, which is a lot, also seem expertly well-made and like well-maintained. He gives off the air of being some sort of like professional, like he clearly is equipped to do a job and do it well, some sort of treasure delver or like archaeologist, perhaps, scholar. It is difficult to say. Among a lot of the things are a lot of like instruments and weird little tools that he has packed away in different like, backpacks and bandoliers and seemingly hidden all over his person. Most striking feature of his equipment, except the well-maintained like leather armors and stuff, is probably a very elegantly made elven curve blade that has slung across his shoulders. He moves with a deadly grace, almost as he is dancing, and has a somewhat weary look upon his face. He's young for an elf. He would not probably be considered adult by most elves, but he has a sort of world wariness about him that speaks to that he has seen some stuff. As to exactly why he is, well, if asked, he says that he has come here to look up on some family history, perhaps, and he has gone in and out of the town, poking around in the ruins a little bit. I haven't gone too far, sensing a lot of the strange dangers that lurk further outside the town. His effort so far has been somewhat fruitless, but yeah, and you know his money is running short for sure. So any attempt or any offer of work certainly entices him, especially if that work involves some investigation.
Well, if she's not going to interfere, I certainly will. Would I?
Sorry, I was talking. Let me do the introduction. I was just muted, so you didn't hear me. All right. I'll do the segue here, as it were. Sansa enters the tavern. It is fairly empty. Only really 3 of the 6 or so large tables are occupied at all, and those that are basically only have like 2 to 3 people on them. A group of what looks to be fishermen sort of stopping their quiet conversation for just a brief second to look at you, but obviously not wanting to be impolite before they get back to talking. The inn itself, I've described before. It's like a big old pot of stew bubbling on the hearth. So you can see the proprietor, the dwarf, and your potential employer sort of muddling around behind the bar. She spots you, basically gives you a quick smile, and then points towards the table that has a single dwarf sitting at it. And then basically gives you like a hand signal of I'll be there in a second.
All right. Guess I'll sit with a single dwarf.
The dwarf, of course, being Rogar.
Well, as Dancer moves forward, he looks up and down Rogar with an appraising look. Rogar did look rather friendly, you said.
Yes, he does. I mean, he also carries with him a special mug, which is the holy symbol of Cayden Cailean, as well as having the sort of alcohol paraphernalia upon him. Just this morning, he got up early to tap a few kegs out back to he got some of those out of the wreckage and has been sort of refilling them. It's going to take a while for it to be done, but it's probably like a multi sent to the dwarf as he sits there. I'm sure Dancer would be familiar with the holy symbol, though.
I
Enough to sort of make some educated guesses as to.
I'm actually hurt. Can I heal up, sheep? Sorry. Oh, my token.
And a layer of casks.
Yes.
Oh, that looks like a terrible bunyip.
Yes.
I've ever seen one.
It came from the cellars.
Bite.
As soon as I figure out how.
I've never seen.
Oh wait, you just put your health in that box. Okay, you are perfect.
Hey. Yahoo. Let me.
Would Rogar have seen Dancer around? He's mostly been at the tavern, I think, and then sort of around doing errands, trying to help out a little bit so that he's not like entirely a burden upon his host.
Sure. He might have seen Dancer, although Dancer strikes as someone who, like, he has not really made a lot of noise around town. He has tried to lay low, so it is quite possible that Rogar simply hasn't noticed him, unless Rogar makes it his business to notice new people.
Ari is also a sizable settlement, like 4-digit inhabitants. It is a bustling town that is growing fairly quickly, in fact, as far as towns go anyways.
I think Rogar would know anyone who's local, like by appearance, if nothing else. But yeah, I don't think he would have seen Dancer. He hasn't paid attention enough. I guess he's been thinking about other things to sort of snoop in everyone else's affairs.
In that case, Dancer will give a slight nod to Rogar and indicate the share on next to him on the table.
Rogar will reach out a hand. A new face.
Dancer will look at the hand for a slight bit and then reach out his own. You will notice that his right hand is bandaged, as if it is wounded or scarred in some regard.
You're right there. Seems to have been some sort of accident.
Dancer looked at his hand. Yes, quite so. Do not worry, Master Dwarf. It is an old wound. Nothing to worry about, I assure you.
Perhaps the eye patch.
Dancer nods. Yes.
Battle scars, then.
Yes, you could say so. May I sit?
Of course, yes. It's not my chairs, though much as I might look at them. My own tavern, the old thirsty alpaca, was collapsed.
Dancer nods slightly and says, I believe I heard something about it.
Yes, some people tried to delve it, but it doesn't go much further down. I made sure to get the barrels out.
Oh.
Yes.
Didn't know taverns could be delved, but I suppose it is a when in Absalom, yeah. If there is a drink on the table for Dancer, he would reach for it. Otherwise, he would look around towards the bar slightly. Catch the proprietor's eye, or if you could just get a beer or something.
There doesn't seem to be anything prepared for you quite yet, which you would have expected since you have been asked here at this specific time.
Rogar
probably inexplicably has one.
Yes, under the table just comes out.
In his mug. Do they not serve liquors here?
Oh, they do. Like this you know enough that it would have been like polite to prepare like snacks and drink.
I think he'll notice this now and sort of look a bit scandalized that he wasn't sure anyone else was coming. He was assuming not, given that there were not drinks set out for everyone. No, he's the kind of guest. He does the thing where he's like, "Oh, let me."
Yeah.
And he stands up and he goes to pour the drinks, even though it's not his tavern.
Sure.
But
But I mean, any tavern is his tavern in a way, right?
it's true.
Yeah.
It's the House of Cayden.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rogar will go and pour some drinks to a drink.
Let's roll a dice really quick. Roger, give me a perception check.
Yeah, of course. Perception there. Check. Oh well.
Oh my.
No boy.
No, I'll take it.
You're like sitting in a way where Dancer's basically looking sort of towards the entrance, Rogar looking towards where the bar is, and you get a glance of Brelda, sort of looking very sheepish as she looks at the empty table. It's pretty obvious to Rogar that she's just a bit out of it and has forgotten to prepare stuff.
Rogar says loudly as he walks away. Noticing that, he says, don't worry, Master Elf. I must have entirely forgotten to set the table as I offered to do. I'll just get that done."
Oh. Well, Dancer will gingerly take the offered beer from Roger, and I will do. Hey, what's like an easy DC at level 1?
Oh, that is a good question. I have a thing. Where did I put the thing? I linked it, I think. Yes. If it ever wants to load. I mean, I think Cayden Cailean is fairly well known, but
Yes.
even with that, you're vaguely sure what he's about, but don't really know the details. Like, oh yeah, he's about drinking. Apparently, there's a story about him being just a normal dude who had a grand adventure, but that's basically where your knowledge ends.
Well, Dancer will gingerly take the beer. He will raise the glass towards Roger and say, maybe find the wisdom in the glass then. He raises it. Roger will probably know then that Dancer probably tried to like say one of the famous proverbs of Cayden Cailean, but didn't quite remember it or butchered it or didn't really know.
That's okay. Rogar will continue and say, maybe find wisdom at the bottom as he drinks to his own.
Dancer will let's see. Fun to roll thing. What is a sleight of hand?
That would be thievery.
Learning this new character sheet.
Yeah, you click on the tab with the hand, and there should be thievery.
Wow.
And if anyone was watching closely, I don't know how perceptive Roger is. Could roll a perception check.
Reasonably, I think what we might do is simply say, well, I have what's called a perception DC, which is my score plus 10.
Yeah.
So you beat that. So
in that case, Roger will not notice that Dancer, when he looks away, carefully like tastes the beverage, like dips a finger in it, and just licks it a little bit, as if he's checking for something before he actually. Yeah.
It's good though. I mean, is Dancer, Jonas? You know this. Is Dancer? Would Cayden Cailean think he was an all right person?
I would say that Dancer is within the alignment steps of Cayden Cailean. I would say that.
All right. Because apparently, if you are a bad person, and I offer you a drink, it might taste really sour and bitter.
Oh.
That's the punishment, you see. So it might be really nice.
Working on it. All right? Say that.
All right, it is at this moment where the next person walks in.
Yes.
Someone who Rogar definitely perhaps recognizes just from vague reputation. It is Miss Armina. Sareth, give me an introduction.
Hello. Yes. Armina Rajani is a bit of a walking contradiction. She's very athletic, local, homegrown in Artillery, but like very much lives the easy life. It isn't too ambitious. Is pretty happy-go-lucky. Works for the family business. They make weapons, and unlike most other trades, it's actually very helpful when your product is not something that's like top of the line, brand new, that it's actually been stress tested. And so she basically mooches off of her family while providing a valuable service of taking all the stuff that's been forged and testing it in the field for a quality check. But people have always been very, very kind towards her, especially the proprietor of this bar. And if she's going to ask for help, like, absolutely. Would she be perceptive enough to notice that something was wrong if she hadn't been asked? No, but someone asked for her help, and there's no reason not to. So she's made her way here, strapped with a bunch of different weapons from the Rajani smithy. The blades for glades.
Yeah, Relda sees you enter as well. She's currently behind the bar, prepping, the snacks she has forgotten, bit of bread and cheese and all that. She points you to the table as well. That is the dwarf
Relda,
and the
thank you.
outsider sitting on it.
Those look delicious. Thank you. And she will follow the direction, and almost a bit sheepishly, but sitting down without waiting to be asked. It's like, hello, hi. Sorry, didn't realize that I was not the only person who Relda had asked to come here. Nice to meet you. My name's Armina. I remember my own character's name.
That just shows how nervous she is. It's great.
Dancer, puts down carefully puts down his mug. That nods a cautious but friendly enough manner, and says, "Well met, Armina. I am Dancer."
Dancer? That's a lovely name. Like an artist? Like you dance to music?
He nods slowly. Yes. I haven't in a while, but yes, I practiced.
Oh, well, we'll have to fix that.
Blinks in slight surprise. Come
on, you can't have the name Dancer and not, be ready to. There's, you should see When the Sun Goes Down in Atari. There's a lot of good, not exactly a, venue specifically, more just a good time to be had. A lot of
Last one collapsed.
swing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Rogar.
yeah,
Rogar
it's true.
Eyes slightly, then drinks some more, then smiles
Yeah.
slightly
Oh,
forth.
Rogar!
Yes.
Rogar! Oh, I'm so glad you're. I'm so
Oh,
sorry
yeah.
to hear about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
she looks
think,
guilt-delayed. Was she responsible for the burning? We'll never know.
how old is Armina? Is she
Armina's
young enough
probably.
that I might address her as Miss Rajani?
Yeah, I'm certain that she probably knew her when she was like a teen looking to do some underage drinking and being a worshiper of Cayden. I don't know, maybe provided it.
Oh, I'm very. It's very liberating. A religion.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't feel-
But like, I'd say that she's an adult, but new into it.
Miss Rajani, come take a seat.
Oh, thank you.
It's good to finally be up doing something.
Yeah, midway through, like pulling the chair back.
Yeah.
Hey, at least there's somewhere there, other places for us to meet at. How's the, reconstruction going? Are you guys okay, or?
Well, as it happens, not like I've kept a stash or anything. So, well, I'm still working on it, but
Yeah.
but in due time, with some luck.
Well, Rogar, you've always been so good to us. Like, don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it.
No, of course not. I wouldn't want to intrude on all the good folks of Atari.
Sareth looks suspiciously, but Armina just completely takes it at face value.
There probably is a pot somewhere that somebody's made, probably at the temple. It seems like, but it's probably it takes a lot of money to build something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice gesture, Rogar has no plan, really, for how to get back on his feet at the moment.
Mhm.
He does not know how.
No, we'll get you there.
Yeah, surely.
It was a little bit serious. Do you have any idea why we're all here? I figured that maybe Reynolds just needed some help around here. I wanted to have a chat, but
We're supposed to go out looking for, what was his name sheet?
For you ask me questions like I
Yeah,
know
I do.
them. It's Lester, her son, Lester Thinkervale.
We out looking for young Lester. It's disappeared along with a hooded figure. as I was told.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Hopefully not grim business, but I suppose we'll see.
Yeah.
As he glances to the elf, he glances down at the long curved sword and his strange demeanor. He's like, "Here, hopefully nothing untoward has happened."
Answer glasses back. Not sure how to take that comment precisely, and
Well,
we'll let it slide for now.
Besides, you've been told
why you
this
hire
happened a
professionals.
year ago, so even if there was nefarious business, there would be no chance you find anything really.
He must be quite some detective. I would have thought that everything would be dried up by now. Yeah, it's too bad. He was a good time.
that he was.
And then, Valky, give us an introduction as your character walks through the door.
Yes. Perhaps the first notice of someone arriving is the heavy set thumping of boots through the door. As no doubt the figure you see is most certainly a dwarf by most textbook definitions. Short, stout, and naturally endowed with a sizable blonde beard and bushy eyebrows. He's been a recent addition to Otari, a year perhaps. Hard to tell. He arrived in like a gust of wind, and him and Rin Savinksi have certainly been in, let's say, friendly, but no one knows exactly why. That said, he has been recommended to Brelda from her, and so he has here arrived. He walks in and surveys through his half-rimmed glasses. He has this stern, searching look, and poking out behind his wide frame is a bow and a matching quiver. And perhaps with the additional leather armor he has on, you might think, he's a hunter or something of the sort. But then your eye catches to his hands as you see an azure-colored tome that somehow sparkles in the light. He catches sight of Brelda and turns to her, waves a hand. And as he does, you see that the light of the tavern catches in such a way that the tome itself seems to sparkle, almost like the faint light of the stars goes across it. He sees the obvious setup here. He's a fairly shrewd dwarf.
Yeah, Brel also returns the wave, gestures to the table.
He'll nod quickly and he'll stride over. There's a brief moment of him stopping short at the perhaps unique composition of the table, but he catches himself quickly. Turns to Armina and bows a bit. How are you doing? And then turns to Rogar and Dancer and gives a greeting in Dwarvish and Elvish in quick succession, and decides to plop himself down on the seat next to them.
Oh, well, very well, thank you, Master Polyglot. How are you doing? Nice to meet you. My name's Armina.
The name's Thorfin Deepgem. Nice to meet you as well. I imagine we're all here for the same thing, yes?
It certainly sounds like. Looks around the table, looks at where we are, the town founded by adventurers. No.
Like old days. Suppose I were at my first tavern this way.
Rogar, I am deeply sorry about the whole thing.
It's so I imagine Valky, this what would I know about Thorfin?
Good question. You know that he's come from quite far away, further than Absalom, further than the island itself. You're not sure where exactly. He's been very cagey on the details, but he's quite friendly in the general greetings with you. He's very well vested in any typical sort of lore. So I imagine most of his conversation, or you getting to know him, is actually talking about your religion specifically, and him trying to get to know more about it.
All right. So, at this point, it's old news. Things happen in this city all the time, but it is heavy to my heart. But thank you for your condolences. And I hope your stargazing goes well as well.
Well, this is perhaps why we're here. And he kind of smiles a bit mischievously, as if he knows something. But he nods and says, well, we shall see what the heavens have in store for us.
Sound of stargazing, Dancer sort of snaps to Thorfin. He looks up with some apparent interest and says, "Oh, are you perhaps some sort of here?"
Oh no, I couldn't attest to that. Our dear Rin, though, yes, I would say so. But I only observe and conclude, I don't see.
Likely. Some sort of town guard, then, perhaps.
He smiles. No, but I'm sure you will see soon enough.
Eyes thin slightly at that.
It seems this table is full of mysterious fellows, doesn't it?
It's like he likes to tease mysteries as much as he likes to solve them.
It's at this moment that Brelda approaches like a plate full of bread and cheese and some sausage and stuff. Sort of plops it down on the table in front of you. She smiles at each of you in turn before she says, thank you for coming. I am very glad that I actually found people who would help me out. I don't even know what to think about this whole situation, if I gotta be honest, but I feel like someone should look into it, and a fog is dangerous. But you four look competent enough, and I'm especially glad about you being here, Thorfin. Rin kicked my old worries off with her cryptic phrases, metaphors, and whatnot. I don't even know why I went to her. I was just recommended to go to her, ask questions about Lester. I figured she'd tell me something about, how his spirit rests now, or how he's happier abroad, or wherever he went. I don't know, but instead, I'll explain to you what she said in a bit. Let me just calm down for a second.
There's
Breathes deeply.
if there's any truth to be gleaned, we'll find it.
Let me also show you how she looks, mostly so I can practice handouts. Where are they? They're gone. Yeah, no. Oh, I got it in a second. There you go.
Oh, cool.
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah, like a rosy-cheeked dwarf. Looks a bit under the weather, perhaps. Her mind occupied. Before she collects herself, sits down on a chair on the table before she says, "So, went to Rin the other day, as I said. Did one of their readings. I've heard good things about them, even if they only make sense in retrospect, I've been told. Not sure what use they are, then. No offense, Thorfin, of course, but she always told that story about how she saved her hometown from an attack of demons by, forecasting the future or whatnot, and honestly, I believe it. But she looked at the stars and told me the following: that a lost loved one is illuminated by vengeful light, that revenge stirs beneath a baleful glare. What does it even mean? How does that relate to Lester? What? I don't know. But one thing is clear to me. It's not that he just fell into the fog, just drowned in the swamp somewhere, and stabbed by whatever stranger he was with. There's more to it. Like, somewhere out there's got to be some hint or another, and I'd like you to look into it. Maybe talk with Rin, see if you can make her explain herself, because none of the explanations made any sense to me.
She can be quite a cryptic woman, but I'll try my best.
Good. I don't know exactly what I expect you to do. Maybe poke around out of town a bit. Maybe, I'm thinking that he just decided to explore one of the ruins out there. Perhaps he made some new adventurer friend who passed through, and they decided to go out there at night so nobody would follow them or something silly. He had strange ideas sometimes. Bit of a daredevil, that one. But, yeah. He seems a bit lost.
Answer says, and if I understood correctly, while we are on this investigation on your behalf, would have the offered stay here, yes?
Yes, of course. Main draw, it's the one thing I can definitely offer. So, as long as you put some effort in it, I don't mind you staying here the other days. It's not like I expect you to go out of town now and not return before you find anything. Just give it a good effort.
I don't suppose you remember or know in which direction he left.
Well, the fellas who told me they saw him that night, I actually invited them over. They're sitting at that table over. I didn't tell them they were here to answer questions, but if you would like to talk to them, you could. But as far as they've told me, he went north towards the fog fen. But there's a bunch of stuff out there. I'm not entirely sure. That
Okay.
swamp is bad news, though.
Yes, I have noticed. You mentioned something about a strange light, the prophecy or casting.
I'll be honest, I don't know what it refers to.
Also scratches his chin thoughtfully.
I mean, up in the fog fen, there's the place. It's an old lighthouse, but it certainly isn't glowing.
Sheep, is there a way that Thorfin can use his Otari lore to see if he can, like, glean some location from the prophecy that's nearby?
Absolutely. Give me a roll.
All right. Let's do that. It's a 19.
19, yes. As soon as Acrobat Reader stops exploding. Where? What comes to mind to you is is actually a nursery rhyme that you've heard told about Otari on occasion. It's one of those that parents use to scare their children. That goes as follows: when the fog is creeping and the moon is low, when the town is sleeping, gauntlet starts to glow. That's when she arises for her midnight lunch. Naughty kids are prizes for her teeth to crunch. But if you obey me and obey the rules, you're safe from Belcora. She just eats the fools.
As he thinks on it, he almost like absent-mindedly just, chants out the nursery in the familiar like way it's normally said, and then he kind of nods to himself and says, "Well, perhaps Gauntlet might be a place to go."
Frowns and says, I have been conducting some surveys of the ruins of the town. I have also approached some in the swamp. They are mostly dilapidated. Found them quite dangerous and picked clean. Gauntlet scratches his chin. I tried to approach, but there's something wrong. I'm not sure what, but it wasn't a light when I saw it. But I have noticed strange lights out in the swamps. I believe there are rumors of some sort of lantern folk, creature that tries to lure you out in the swamp to drown you.
Brella looks horrified at both of you.
Thorfin kind of looks at her, kind of like subtly, is like,
Yeah. Armina is not nearly so subtle. It is just like, can we not? Like, right in front of her?
Dancer blinks. I apologize.
Appreciate the thoroughness. But, like, be a little bit sensitive.
Maybe I'll leave you to it. You seem to have ideas, at least. Keep me updated, I suppose.
Nods. Looks over to Thorfin. So you know this seer of which he spoke?
Oh, yes, I do.
Well, like a visible place to start if you need to look into this.
He kind of like pauses for a moment, as if he is about to say no, and then says, Yes, sure. I will remind you. Let's just go, perhaps.
Dancer feels that there is subtext here he does not quite get.
What kind of divination arts does she? Is she like tarot readings or crystal ball or?
She reads the stars.
Oh,
Opinions about her in the city, in the town, are mixed, but generally fairly positive. She is strange, eccentric, and I mean, she is obviously a tiefling, which is a rarity. And she has some other quirks that Thorfin certainly knows about. But she also has a reputation of generally being friendly, helpful, and her predictions, while always not easy to decipher, always sort of come true and make a lot of sense, mostly in retrospect, sadly. But occasionally they are in fact directly helpful. Like there is no doubt that she is touched by strange magics and uses that, or at least tries to use it to help people. That's the general opinion.
all right.
But they are, of course, skeptics. So like she's just looking into the sky. Everyone can see the stars. Like where's the meaning there?
I think that Armina is too dense to like really pick up on any details of her prophecy. So she's just like, she's just a fortune cookie. Like vague enough that like afterwards it's in retrospect, but like nah, you make something broad enough, it's gonna fit. Right, Thorfin? Just completely insulting his craft.
Well, I feel like you are summarizing quite close enough, let's say. But if we are to go, perhaps now, as good as time as any.
Yeah, just tell me when I get to hit stuff.
I mean, up and down. Looks at all the weapons, like sprouting, sprouting like a porcupine, and he says, "You certainly seem prepared for it."
Oh yeah, I'm a stress tester for the weapons made by the local smithy. It's run by my family, sort of a family business. So if there's an opportunity to do something and it's dangerous and might involve needing to use the weapons. I've got old reliable here, but I can sort of double dip. You know what I mean?
Frowns. Of course, yes. Double dip.
Well, I feel safer already.
Around weapons that the quality hasn't been confirmed.
Straight from the forge. Who knows if they work?
The sarcasm is hard to tell because he's not good at it, but it's there. He's trying to put sarcasm in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for the people who've been in Ontario for a little while, so this would probably include Thorfin, you've definitely heard about Armina's older brother, which is all the Rajanis that are really left in Ontario at this point. Because he's tried to run for mayor multiple times over the past few years, including in fairly recent times, with very little to no success. Because barely anyone actually likes him.
I love him, but it's embarrassing.
All right. So you travel out into the streets of Otari and want to pay Rin a visit.
Yes. Let's talk to this fraudster.
Yeah.
I love to say that.
No. I mean,
I love that between Thorfin's difficulty with sarcasm and Armina just completely taking everything at face value, that she's just like, man, He really trusts me. I gotta make sure. Don't let them down.
Pressure's
Oh.
on now. Oh.
Yeah, just fully believes it.
He's just already moved on. Like, yeah, that's a joke, and then she's like, oh
Yeah.
god.
Thorfin is even like, oh, that was a good joke. Good work, me.
Good work,
Yeah, I did.
Spent
that.
an hour thinking of that
I'm
one.
gonna put that in my type 5.
Yeah.
Rogar looks at the camera.
Takes a sip.
Cut to one of those like Rogar sitting alone in a room with the camera. It's like, so when I met them, I really felt.
At first, everything was great, but
But then, oh no.
Okay, well, spoilers. I guess Rogar lives.
I still see your old token, I believe.
What?
Oh, really? I'm seeing the new image.
I do not.
Oh yeah, you are not. That's weird. How is that happening?
Old token.
unfortunately,
Weird.
Jonas, you probably not do it.
I see people as they are.
True form.
Through my illusion.
Yeah.
True sight at level 1.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Maybe it's solved to next time, but I'm just noticing that you have the old border import.
Oh, it's
That's
called
so bizarre.
token's called Snake Spy Concealed.
Yes.
Yes.
Doppelganger
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
If you hop over to the Otari map.
Yep.
Comments hopping.
Comments hopping.
It's so dark.
Ooh.
I don't know how to change that. So
It's a fairly long trip to rinse wonders for the town. With the rowdy rockfish being how did I ping?
Just hold down. Or hold down click.
I
Yeah.
zoomed. The rowdy rockfish
Where is
being
it?
down here.
Oh, that's
It is this building here.
you can see my
Right.
barrels out back.
Yeah, this is where the tavern used to be.
Oh no, it's
Oh.
a mess.
Oh, it puts
Yeah.
an arrow if you ping and it's out of frame for me. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And Rinse Curio Shop is the strange collection of standing stones and tents up here. Sort of like the evening twilight hits as you start traveling up there. And for those of you who haven't been here yet, which is probably, the dancer exactly, it is a strange sight, because you would expect a building, but it is anything but. Her shop is a collection of big old standing boulders, each taller than a man, sort of arranged in a big circle, inside of which is a series of tents, but also not exactly. They're mostly just roof, without really much wall going on. And inside of that, she has all her stuff, and apparently lives there. It is perhaps the strangest definition of a building that anyone could ever have. Thorfin, of course, knows why this is, because Vin is horribly claustrophobic, and also scared of angles. So she has found a living arrangement that works for her. The tiefling is obviously, mulling about in her shop as you arrive. I'm going to show a picture of her. Her tiefling nature, obvious, and the curled ram horns, the pupilless eyes, as she's humming slightly to her, arranging the stuff she has, from books to goblets to all manner of strange looking and presumably potentially magical things. She sort of swings around as she hears you coming, with a smile on her lips, before she says, "Ooh, hey, Thorfin, you brought customers, I see. Hello. You come at an excellent time. The sun is about to set, which is arguably the best time of the day. If you've come for a reading, you're slightly too early. 10 more minutes if the clouds disappear, perhaps. But even the clouds have meaning. I mean, which stars they hide and which they don't. Sometimes meaning that, although they are fickle."
I'm afraid, Bryn, that today we're here for information about your prophecy.
Which one?
Kind of racks his brain because he probably also has been
You
privy
tell
to
us?
many of them.
What did you say, Sareth?
She's like, you tell us. Like, which one is he about to say?
Trolling her.
Yeah.
My readings are usually private.
Oh no. It's the one Brelda spoke to you about. Oh,
Oh, Breld, yes, of course. Has she sent you? I heard she's looking for people to help her with that particular mystery, I suppose.
I that she
Yeah.
has.
Uh, she nods. All right, I suppose it's fine then. I mean, has she told you what I told her?
Yes.
Yes,
Well, the
vengeful
prophecy,
knight,
nothing much else.
friend of dear lost family member. Vengeful gaze, such.
The tiefling nods deeply with a bit of a sudden worried frown. Yes, it was a strange story, that one, but it is what the stars told me. I mean, there's some room for interpretation, but it doesn't really make it better. Instead of a lost loved one, it could also mean departed, suggesting a rather sad fate, or it could simply be distant or illuminated. I mean, it was the sign of the tower, which also sometimes suggests tormented. I didn't really want to burden her with that interpretation. Light could be a glow. It's often interchangeable. Or was the sign of the Moon Maiden, which suggests more of a glow, really. And I mean, the Moon Maiden also suggests a bit of a aggressive turn to it. Usually, a very focused aggression. Could be revenge, could be hatred. It's
So, if I may be so bold, then, best answer, that you spared some of the more grim details then when you told this foretelling to your friend here. Now that she is not present and we are on the trail, would you perhaps giving us your best or most accurate interpretation of instead of the ones that you felt were more what she could hear, if you catch my meaning?
He nods. It's, I'm afraid, not an exact science, although it is a science, even if many disagree. I believe that not only did something terrible happen to him, but it is still happening. And he is not the target of the Moon Maiden's hatred. Moon Maiden, of course, just the constellation, don't read too much into it. But an unfortunate casualty of someone's path to revenge. I could also be completely wrong.
Look up front. He disappeared a year ago. Is this a new thing? Are you saying that whatever's been going on has been going on for a year? It is still happening.
It seems hard to believe, yes, but I mean, I don't just invent these things, if that's what you're implying.
No, it seems terrible.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I just don't know what to do about it.
Your signs pointed towards what? You mentioned the tower. Would that be the Gauntlet? The lighthouse?
I mean, now that you mention it, the glow could be literal and could mean the gauntlet. I mean, that too has started glowing.
What?
You don't see it?
As it looks towards the swamp.
She sort of points. It's a bit hard to see from down here, but climb on one of these stones.
All right.
She sort of starts sort of awkwardly climbing up to up one of their standing stones. She points towards the swamp. There, over there. It's faint, but it's definitely there.
But no one's using that thing.
As it squints out in the swamp, is she correct? Is it actually glowing?
Give me a perception check. Like the dancer's first instinct would be like, you can't see it from here.
Yeah, so like, what?
What are you
What are you
talking
talking about, lady? Oh, that's...
Like you make out maybe the vaguest of shapes, sort of in the darkness and fog. But she points quite insistently and says, "Oh, it's like a bit of a bluish hue. I look. I mean, I don't know. It might just be a swamp thing."
Well,
It might also not be.
given all these factors together, it seems worth a look.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He sort of racks his brain a little bit. When he was out probably like a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago or so in the swamp last, weird glow from Gauntlet then?
You most likely didn't get very close. The swamp itself is dangerous, and anyone reasonable wouldn't really have ventured far. You probably saw the shape of the old Gauntlet keep, the structure that surrounded the actual Gauntlet, the old lighthouse. But at least you don't remember an obvious glow. There were, of course, the occasional like strange light in the swamp, as they are.
Yep.
But I don't remember anything like what she's explaining right now. Thorfin, you would, however, know that her pupilless eyes are rumored to see beyond just the visible. It's not something she apparently believes herself, but it is what other people believe about her.
Right. And have I hung out with her enough that she's like seen things that I can't see similar to this situation that I would kind of just trust her on it?
Perhaps the occasional thing where you aren't entirely sure if she's actually seeing more, or if she's just being weird, basically.
Yeah.
There are hints that she occasionally sees things beyond the normal.
Mm. Dancer, was it?
Yes.
You have been out there with the runes?
Yes, I have attempted to brave these swamps, but I have found it to be quite treacherous, dangerous. I am sad to say I did not go, was not able to go too far into it before it became apparent to me that I need to be better prepared or find some people to help me go deeper in. But the times I have delved out into the swamps, I have not seen the lighthouse be alight.
Going into the old cape, we could at least follow the old road. We're getting lost in the swamps somewhere.
Yeah, definitely better to do it in a group. And I don't know, depending on how dense the fog is, it could have been a light at some point and not breaking through. Maybe.
When history question? When was the last time the lighthouse was actually used, properly used, and there was light in it?
If you have a law skill that is either related to the Rose Guard or Otari, give me a roll.
Nice.
Ooh. Sure.
24, that is pretty good. Yeah, you know a thing or two about that strange rune. Specifically, it was here before the town, which is a bit strange in the first place. It is also the place where the Rose Guard fought an evil sorceress. It is their battleground, basically. They were victorious, of course. And afterwards, after defeating the sorceress in the lighthouse, they settled Otari. So the lighthouse was here before there was anything actually relevant to a lighthouse.
Right.
It was last active before the Rose Guard arrived here. That is at this point like 500 years ago.
Oh. Dancer will scratch the side of his head and says, well, I know a little bit about the local lore, and it seems, as far as I can remember, that the last time the Gauntlet was actually active was, well, before this town was even founded, 500 years ago. A venturing group called the Rose Guard came here to battle a terrible and powerful sorceress who dwelled within the keep. Given what you just earlier told me, Master Deepgem, about that nursery rhyme, I suspect that is probably something that has originated from that time. Perhaps the terrible creature mentioned to rise up and eat naughty children was the name of the sorceress. Stops scratching, looks at his hand. If it's active again after 500 years of inactivity, that is... I'm not an arcane scholar, but that seems portentous, to say the least.
Surely it's not exactly 500 years, right? Rogar, getting a little creeped out at this point.
Is it exactly 500 years, Sheep?
I mean, you don't have to be a scholar or anything to know that that's cause for concern. Definitely.
That's a nod. Yes, a ancient ruin and old stronghold of a evil sorceress. You would hope that such a place would be inactive for all time. Such places can certainly draw a lot of creatures. Strangeness.
With your 24, you would know it. It's not exactly 500 years. Pretty close. A bit less.
A bit less. Dancer will try to
A
mollify
bit less? A bit less? As in maybe something's warming up so that on the 500th anniversary, whatever it happens?
Probably like 480 something years ago.
You have 20 years.
Oh,
My
okay.
God.
So just a bit of wiggle room.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
I thought you meant like next week or something.
next. Oh, that's
It's like,
Well, I suppose bad news with the prophecy and all. Like, I'd hope to avoid the long walk, but if we could at least get close enough through the fens to see if there is a glow.
North is also that's the direction roughly towards the Gauntlet.
Yes. It is through the swamp known as the Fog Fen towards the
I see that. Oh. Yes.
a tiny little battle map.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we also did. We owe that much to Brelda to at least give it a good effort.
Greece. I suppose we could attempt to approach it. A bit of a stretch, of course. We don't know that is exactly where the brother went, but
Everything seems to be indicating.
Other
If it's
likelihood
too hard
he
to
went
get past.
into the fens and never came back. We'd rather start somewhere than simply wandering the swamp.
a sensible notion.
It's a little bit like looking for your lost key under a lamplight, but
At least
Might
you
as
know
well.
the key isn't there when you look.
yes.
Nods like this. Have any of you made any excursions into this?
Would I have sheep?
Probably not. It is generally considered to be a really bad idea.
Yeah.
The land
Indeed.
around Otari is fairly untamed. There are certainly adventures and such looking into the different various ruins around the place, but even they are known to be picked clean. You know, the Rose Guard were here hundreds of years ago. They were adventurous.
Sheep, tell me if I'm wrong here, but to me that stands to reason that's where because of exactly that's where like it would be the rebellious teen hangout spot. at night. Like they tell me I can't go here. It's too dangerous. It's out of town. It's in the
It is
forest. I can
It's
smoke.
not just dangerous, it's dangerous with a capital D. Anyone who's not traveling either with a very good amount of experience and knowledge or appropriate, combat skills will not just walk out there and be fine.
It's like Dean's going to hang out at the old asbestos pit.
Yes.
Maybe even they have. I think Rogar would say, I once helped a lad who had wandered a bit too far. Wide-eyed he was. I think he moved into Absalon. Get some help.
Yeah, the hangout spot for the rebellious teens would be like on top of the aqueduct, which is something that the owners of which really don't appreciate. But not outside of town. Like even the most
like graffiti the underside.
even the most idiotic teen will only make the mistake of wandering out of town for too long once.
Yeah,
They'll die.
I knew someone in high school, but he's gone.
Oh, the
Long
graveyard
time.
is so
Long time
huge
ago.
for this town.
Yeah.
Massive.
There's a different reason. You see, all the ones who go to town, we don't get the bodies back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's why the graveyard's so big, but there's so few actual headstones in there. It's like
It's
not this lot, but they
It's not at all because there's a weird necromancy cult around taking all the
No.
bodies, right?
definitely not. Also, that's based out of what is this building here? That's super
The
ostentatious.
Sarenrae Temple.
It's a Sarenrae temple. Yeah.
The Dawnflower Street. There are good people
Yes,
there.
that is the Dawnflower Library. It is not ominous. It is, in fact, the opposite.
I had to go. If
Ostentatious,
it's
like
really
grand.
bad,
I
go
know.
there.
Armina has never liked it. There's something fishy with that place.
Yeah.
I learn how
God's
to
never
read
Went to
in
Sunday school
there.
there once.
Yeah.
God's divination. It's all
Fire or something.
Something about fire.
Divination.
Scimitars.
Oh boy. Well,
Hey, I can get fire and scimitars at home. I don't need to go to the dwarf.
Dancer will check the bandage on his right hand, like tug a little bit at it and like slightly put it into place as he thinks, and then he will look at the party and say, well, if we then are to brave the fog fens, I suspect we should probably get ready. It seems unwise to go in the middle of the night. We should probably wait until morning. Till then, perhaps we should look over to see that we are properly prepared and kitted out for an expedition.
How long would the walk be? Is that like, I imagine pretty long, given how long it took us to get here?
To the swamp, maybe half an hour. Through the swamp, even though it's less distance, probably the same again. So about an hour there.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. Oh, right. That's a
Yeah,
good
an
suggestion. I
hour
would
and a
rather
bit
go
at least.
daylight. Maybe some of the sunlight will burn the fog away.
That'd be nice. And yeah, that's a good idea. I'm definitely going to go stop by my brother's forge and see if he's got anything else that needs to go out. It's perfect time for it. You guys need anything from there? Maybe. I mean, it looks like y'all have different trades, so I don't know that would be useful for everybody. But if so, you're more than welcome.
Well, you're giving Rogar with mumble because he could use stuff, but he doesn't have the money to pay, and that's really.
I'm sure we
Well,
can
it
figure
goes.
something out, Rogar.
No, it's all right. I mean, we're not expecting too much trouble. Swamp lights or sinkholes or whatnot. Got some experience with those.
I believe I am prepared as much as I can be.
Hmm.
Oh well.
In that case, Dancer will look towards the thing, which I've now forgotten the name of. Sorry to say.
She is called Rin.
Rin. Then he looks at Rin and says, if the conditions are fortuitous tonight, perhaps how much does a reading cost?
Ooh, a reading costs something interesting. Either some sort of memento, perhaps, or story. That's my price.
shifts slightly. One of his hands goes to like a pocket at the side of his vest. Almost he doesn't notice it, it seems, but catches himself like halfway to it and lowers his hand and says, yes, I see. Perhaps then we could have a slight talk about it at some point.
Oh, certainly.
Shifts it and looks at the others. Seems a bit awkward.
Well, let's go get a good night's rest.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, we could just meet by the north entrance to town in the morning.
No.
First light.
Yes, that sounds perfectly fine.
Thorfin grumbles to himself a little bit, but not used to getting up that early. But oblige.
I like to sleep in.
Yeah, that is sleeping in. You gotta get like a full workout in before you start your day.
Rogar hasn't really worked out since.
Yeah, I am cringing at that thought myself.
No, you know,
me as a morning
Johnny,
person.
Brilda makes some excellent pancakes.
Oh,
But not that early in the morning. So
oh,
maybe we meet at the Brilda's and you can show you and what I mean. Then we'll go after.
all right. That sounds good. Yeah.
All right. You retire to your various places. How many of you actually take Brother up on an offer of free lodgings?
Oh yeah. No, I have no money. Yes.
Continue
That's
to.
the whole reason I'm on this endeavor is because otherwise I'll sleep in the street.
Yeah, it is the equivalent of free. What is it? Not lifestyle. Let me look at the rule book here because it's a new system, so we are following the rules thoroughly. If Adobe Reader wants to stop exploding, there we go. Hello, where is it?
What? Trying to get for the feel for the actual game? That's wild.
I know, right?
Yeah. What do you want about cheap?
Standard of living. It is the equivalent of a comfortable standard of living, which would usually cost you 1 gold piece a week.
Oh my.
Boy,
A king's ransom.
being paid well.
I mean, 1 gold piece is quite a bit.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'm not
I'm not being
I don't have.
facetious. No,
I could.
could not.
It would not take long before Rogar would go live in the pit that used to be his home.
Just to pull an old tarp over himself on the
His
ground.
shack.
A hut out of the casks.
Yeah, Thorfin will take up the offer. He probably has just paid so far himself, but he's probably getting quite sparse. And if for those perhaps more perceptive, part of the reason why he doesn't like to get up early is that actually he lingers a bit when everyone else leaves Rin's, because most of his nights are actually looking at the stars with her when it's clear enough for it. And so he gets back quite late. Yeah.
Yeah, this night was a bit like foggy and murky, like not a great night to look at the stars there. Like he
Yeah.
probably spent some time doing it, so. But then, unless
Or
one of you
comes in
still
from
wants to
the-
do something this evening. Actually, when does Armina stay? Like
Hey,
she technically has a home here.
Yeah, she does. And she'll probably stay at the inn anyway. You know, it's good to get a change of scenery.
Well,
You know, Rob sounds like her brother's a bit much. So having an excuse to like sleep somewhere else and you know, not have to pay for it, yeah, she'll take it.
yeah, ever since your parents died some time ago at this point, he's become a bit of a slob, to say the least.
Oh boy. I mean, I like
He is not a great person to be around.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Rogar sort of, you know, doesn't like when.
Yeah, usually he doesn't even really. I mean, his brother usually like hangs out until late in the night in one of the other taverns in Montari, in the Crook's Nook. You know, playing knife games and gambling and that sort of thing. Which is certainly something you do not have to engage with if you just stay in arguably one of the nicest.
Yeah, he
inns.
can have his tavern, I'll have mine. I'll just make
Yeah.
sure to swap out one of the bad knives for his. And so like doesn't cut his fingers off. We do need those, but yeah. Smell
All right.
combined with the heat of a forge is not something pleasant to be around.
And then
Ooh.
night passes.
Oh, cool.
I
Dawn
guess.
arrives. As you meet up at Brothers, I guess, have a bit
Yeah.
of a breakfast. She makes sure that she wakes up early enough to make sure, you know, you're well fed for your incursion, excursion, travel, whatever it is. And then really you can head out if you like.
Yeah. Why not?
All right. Travel out of town and then north. It's fairly uneventful. The day seems to be going quite well. There's still this like autumn fog hanging over most of it, which does appear to get deeper and thicker as you travel north through the forest, into the swampy forest, eventually into the swamp proper. Let me give you a description and some ambience. I have no idea how the volumes are.
Still has to load first for me.
It is very quiet. But as you travel north, you know there's the sounds of frogs and insects, and like the squelching of things, reasonably large things moving about. Even the waving of branches, the odd sound that you can't really identify. I also have a picture for you for what the Fogfen looks like.
Ooh.
This would be at night, but still.
Oh, cool.
It is dreary, it is
Ooh,
deep.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, it is. The sun is definitely out, but you don't see that much of it as you travel north, really. There's plenty of ambient light to look around, but spotting the actual sun itself is just not possible. It's just a blurry spot of yellowish, whitish stuff somewhere in that direction, really. And eventually, travel north far enough to arrive the old gaunt light deep. The sounds of frogs and mosquitoes mix with water sloshing against muddy shores, all muffled by the ever-present mists that linger in the aptly named Fogfen. The mist clear, a shadow looms from the cloying swamp vapors. A sprawling ruin of stone and wood squats atop an island in the soggy marsh. The upper floors of the keep have largely collapsed, leaving only the stone walls of the ground floor intact. Above these ruins towers an out-of-place monument, a colossal lighthouse whose painted walls An iron-cased crown have resisted the corrosive effects of the surrounding swamp. Let me also let's see, preload scene. Let's do that. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah, this swamp looks worse than to walk through than the map led me to believe.
Oh yes, the map is an optimistic representation.
Yeah.
Let's see. How do I actually?
How do you begin traversing this without getting wet boots? Yeah.
Yeah,
You
there's
don't.
like
Probably.
Yeah.
a bit of a road-ish, anyways, leading this way. But yeah, I cannot.
I feel like Armina's the type of person with like 17 pairs of extra dry socks.
There is a point, perhaps, if someone like maybe steps into a particularly deep trench of water, that Thorfin will actually assist. Perhaps now you might now see a little inch of what he's capable of, but he will begin to scribe a rune in the air, and he will cast prestidigitation to clean up the bit of the wetness that everyone has, casting it multiple times.
All right, this should work. I've turned back the time a bit just to get a bit of a twilight vibe going, but it is in fact like 8 a.m. at this point, approaching 9.
Rogar, while traveling, I mean, he's trained in both nature and survival, so he sort of he walks fairly well. He was an adventurer like some time ago. He earned money enough for a town in which he promptly settled in. But some of those skills probably come to show.
Of course, like, is there something specific you're sort of looking out for to travel?
I think mostly he's trying to make sure that that nobody falls in one of the swamp holes. Once he was witness to someone, probably one of those teens, right? That sort of thought he was big and brave, walking and get stuck in the swamp hole. And he wasn't even that far in, but it was a very long and grueling day trying to heave him out of one of those ever sinking pits. With some other people from the town, so that's something he would be looking. No one goes in there.
Keeping an eye out at the natural surroundings, like the dangers one would expect in the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
Giving hints to the others to watch out. You can do that as you travel. Eventually, you arrive at what appears to be the remains of a watchtower, covered in mildew and mold, covering the damp surfaces. The doors are, well, closed, obviously, but also basically disintegrating. It would not be difficult to just, smash them open.
Breathe through them.
The answer, as we approach here, when we travel, at least when he's traveled toward here, moves very lightly and usually hangs a little bit to the side of the party. Skulking, you would think, almost. Basically, the like general skill I would use when we go around is probably stealth. He's trying to be unnoticed or like really look around without alerting anything hostile. He's being careful. With that, a little bit over here, avoiding the doors for now.
Right. How are the rest of you behaving? Armina and Thorfin?
That's a good
Are
question.
you looking out for danger? Are you looking around for, hidden things? Are you?
I mean, I want to say yes. Because that's who I am. But I think Armina just goes for the door.
I think Thorfin, now that they've actually arrived and he's seen the scope of how
Ugh.
big this place is, I think he's going to basically start sending out pulses of detect magic and see if anything pings back. As like, other people are more perceptive, but for him, he can sense something that others can't through his magic, and so that's probably what he'll be doing. So in case anything does ping, that he can warn people. I'll just put it up for you.
Okay. Also, don't click on doors, please. Like I still want. I'm a
Right.
control freak. I'll open them for you. I don't know how to change that. Or I can lock them. No,
Yeah, I was gonna say there might be a way to lock them. Yeah.
But yeah, as Armina pushes the door open, it like
Before we go in, Dance, you just want to look over the edge here. Like, is it far down to the wharf?
it is about like 10 feet or so. It would be a bit of a slide and a fall into the muddy water.
Or to look deep?
It's impossible to tell.
Is it possible to go like around here? Can like travel like square here, or is it just?
That would be an acrobatics, trying to basically skirt the edge of the watchtower. It's clearly built in such a way that it blocks the way forward. But of course, there's now plants and vines, and there's a bit of ground you can stand on. It would be an awkward shuffle, however.
In that case, Dance will rejoin the rest of the.
I was keeping an eye on him just because he had that nightmare scenario where Dance slipped into the water and splashed him, and suddenly had to get
Yeah.
rope, like
As you approach the doors, Dance will look around, look at you, and then he will quietly and gracefully unsheath his weapon.
Is it
Yeah.
odd as that?
And then crouch down a little bit around the corner here.
Yeah, I think weapons out is probably a good idea.
Well, if anyone looks questioning, say, don't know what is in here. The dangerous reputation. Paired.
I mean, the only judgment I might have is that it wasn't already out. It was a pretty spooky swamp we just went through.
Smile slightly. The steel can catch flexes. Caught you.
Hey, fair enough.
So Armina opens the door.
So what?
Does-
What weapon does Armina have out? Is it like shield or is it like a spear? Like what?
I
shield?
think, yeah, she went back to the forge and today at least has a long sword out.
Alright.
See if she picks something up different a different day. Maybe
Whatever.
get something in here.
Yeah. Whatever it
Yeah.
strikes.
The door creaks open, revealing the dilapidated insides of the tower.
Oh boy, that's a lot of cobwebs.
Yeah, there's mildew, mold, cobwebs, rotten door frames. The walls are covered with green and black smears that you can't immediately identify. Collapsed chairs lie on the floor. Heaps of foul-smelling grey lumps. Yeah, and even looking up, there's just cobwebs over cobwebs.
Well, this is definitely calling for a torch, wouldn't you say? Probably good to have one in there anyway if it's darker.
I don't think the little things will burn in this place. Thinking of that. I think it's pretty safe.
Will,
Does it seem that the cobwebs have like a lot of moisture in them and stuff, or are they like dry?
Everything is moist. If in doubt, it's
Sure.
wet.
Okay, never mind.
Thorfinn will say, if it's light you need, I can give you some.
I was more wanting to just keep these webs off my sword, but it looks like hacking through them is probably what's got to happen here.
Well, ladies first then.
Quite. And she'll start clearing a path for the party to be able to walk through unencumbered.
All right, you
Can I like push this door open with my boot?
can.
Well, so I can actually see.
The half falls apart as you do.
It
Right,
was
stop.
too close to home.
I had a door once and it fell.
Please.
I'm gonna pause to stop you. As you walk outside, Dancer and Armina, and you outside as well, you hear faint, high-pitched voices coming from above. To most of you, they don't make any sense, but Dancer can actually understand what they're saying. There's a high-pitched voice from above saying, "Ooh, you have entered the realm of the magic pixies. If you eat the magic pixie mud on the floor, we will grant you a wish and let you enter our domain." Followed by multiple giggles coming from multiple directions right above you. Amina, you see the source quite easily, as there appear to be sort of like goblin-esque creatures sort of hanging to the ceiling, like on some of the rotten wooden beams standing up there sort of looking at you.
Dancer
Well, she doesn't understand him.
Dancer grimaces and answer back. And whose domain is it that we have entered?
They sort of see Amina looking at them. There's a moment of hesitation and pause before the goblinoid creature suddenly shriek and disappear through a hole in the roof.
Huh. The Dancer cracks his head, looks at Armina, cracks his head again.
Yeah, there's like a high-pitched scream of, "They've seen us! Flee! Flee! Flee!"
Wait, so did you understand that? Because I just heard them screeching, and then you were like, "And whose domain have we?" Like, what?
Dancer would have probably answered back in the same language.
Yeah, they spoke Undercommon.
It is a fairly weird, whispery, sort of sinister tongue, I suppose. That's how I imagined Undercommon most of the time.
Yeah. I didn't know you spoke Goblin.
Dancer coughs a little bit and says, "I believe they were some sort of pixies. They welcomed us to their domain and tasked us with eating the mud on the floor. But when Armina spotted them, they knew the ruse was up and fled."
Also,
I
worth noting
devised against it.
that their lie was awful. They were like giggling as they were saying it.
Yeah.
But Dancer nods, they're pixies. This is what they...
That's probably for the best. I was looking at that beam and wondering if I hooked my sword at it, whether I could get them both by just destroying that thing. Looks pretty weak. She like pokes it with the tip of this sword.
Pixies are mischievous creatures. If we can proceed without having to worry too much about them, that would be nice, but...
I don't know that that's much in our control.
Odds. Careful, though.
Just in how we do.
They might have trapped the surroundings. Pixie magic. He sort of wobbles his hand.
Rogar, you hear a wet squelch as something impacts behind you.
Huh?
I look behind me.
There appears to be a chunk of foul-smelling meat that has been thrown behind you.
I mean, I want to step in the door then.
All right, you basically get a 5-foot step before we roll initiative.
I would take it, but I'm lost.
All right, I'll see it.
Yeah.
From the swamp, chasing the meat and then looking angrily at you appears an enormous frog-like creature.
Oh.
Froking at you angrily.
Angry frog.
Ew.
But I'm sure it's hideous.
As we'll do some initiative. Give me a roll. A roll would be appropriate to the thing you've been doing. For Rogar, it could, for example, be nature would be appropriate. I mean, Amina sort of looking out for threats. That would be standard perception.
Yeah.
For Thorfin as well, since this wouldn't be a magic thing.
Not a magical
I
thing,
think.
yeah.
And Dancer could arguably use stealth.
That's pretty active with stealth.
Oh no.
Nice.
So many dice.
Oh no, it's a slurk. A slurk.
No.
A walrus frog.
It is enormous. This is the thing that you scare your children with, and the parents themselves probably believe that they're not real. It is the size of you, basically.
It's a big
Like
frog.
I do not want to undersell the threat here. This is the swamp monster that you never want to encounter.
Oh.
Rogar, it is your turn. Or it is at least one of like the typical monsters you scare children with when you talk about the terrible things that lurk in the swamp.
Oh, sure.
Well, I'll use an action to move out here. I can actually see it. My 5-foot step sadly took me too far away. Then I will. It seems like a bad sort of monster. I will cast. I will cast Bless.
Wom.
Alright.
And that's my 3 actions.
What incantation does Rogar use to bless us with Cayden Cailean's awesomeness?
Yeah, he like in words. I don't know.
Well,
But,
what would it be in concept?
He would probably curse at the damn thing, like this monster, and then ask the lucky drunk for a bit of that bravery he's so familiar with, swinging the mug around to just sort of spray a bit in the air, and those who come close will have a familiar scent on their nose, and perhaps find that their strikes will be slightly more less aimed and more fortunate than otherwise.
So we need to stand in the aura to be.
Yes.
Okay.
It is like a continuous thing.
Understood.
Right. Oh, I didn't begin the encounter yet. It is then Dance's turn.
So I rolled stealth as my initiative. Does that mean I am stealth at the beginning here?
You are considered. Let me look at the perception. I know where that is. I believe you're considered the lowest tier, so the slug doesn't even know you're there.
Okay. I can probably get a sneak attack in. There's a round at least. One action. So what do I get for being blessed?
You get a +1 status bonus to attack rolls.
Okay. And
Just pull the spell effect on yourself and it'll automatically apply.
yes.
And it counteracts Bane if this thing casts that spell.
Works. That's neat.
Blessed.
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 All right then.
If you want to move while staying undetected, you would not take a stride action. You would take a sneak action, which means I will roll a stealth check for you that you won't see.
Yes, I want to attempt to sneak.
All right, you sneak. I made a roll for you that I'm not going to tell you.
Basically, in one fluid motion, Dancer like skulks out from behind the wall here. He sees the creature and frowns at it. Whatever this is, it is not good news. Yeah.
If you stop there in plain sight of the creature, you're basically automatically seen.
There is no. Okay, so I want to start here. So there's
You need to remain in cover or in concealment.
if I went here, I can't see him. If I here, I can see part of him. He'd be in cover. So honestly, the blessing just counteract the cover and barely. And I could just go up. What's the AC of Rogue?
He's wearing a breastplate. He has a 17. You see.
Well, in that case, no, there's no good way of me getting to it and keeping my sneak, I suppose. So then we'll move out here towards the weird creature.
There's like a bush there, right?
Is there a bush here, Ship? Can I sneak in the bush?
I guess there's a bush. Sure, you're vaguely concealed enough
Okay.
to roll your check. Which, of course, I have rolled for you.
Right. And could I keep in the bush to get close to it so I could stab it sneakily from the bush? Is the bushiness here as well?
If you stop adjacent to it, it'll see you.
Well, in that case, he'll hunker down here, and then he will pull out his short bow and shoot you with it. Getting
Right. It is, in fact, flat-footed against your attack.
Hey. Let me see here. Ooh. And then we proceed to target the slurk. Oh. Good. Sorry, I forget how I actually...
Let me
You need to equip it in
All
your...
right, I need to click on the thing. Yes.
Yes, you need to wield it first.
Yes, of course. Wield it.
Yeah, you would have been wearing it, which means you can then spend, I think, one action to sheath your curved blade, and then one action to draw the short bow, which presumably, maybe you had it ready already. We can just skip that for now.
Sure.
But generally, interacting with equipment to sheath and draw is an action each.
Yep. Very. Yeah. Now I maybe.
Now on your sheet, you can click the strike +8. In the
Under
actions
actions,
Counter.
yeah.
Yes.
And you need to load ammo as well.
Oh.
Do you have any?
Oh, I probably forgot to add arrows to my sheet, but is it okay if I add some now?
Yes. Have some arrows.
Awesome.
I think it's a silver piece per 10.
All right. Arrow.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm very open to retconning. Hey, I totally would have bought that because my character's not stupid and I just don't know the rules well yet.
It's true. Don't.
I think we're all in the same boat there.
Arrows. Go. A little bit of arrows. Try again. This is very exciting.
Shoot him.
I'm trying. Oh, I can't load ammo into my short bow.
They can't be in your backpack, I believe.
Oh.
Did you make a new item, or did you buy it from this?
I buy it from the companion, but dragged it into my backpack. So I guess it can't be in the backpack.
No.
Okay, a quiver. Let me see a quiver. Quiver.
There's no quivers. It's
There's
just
no
arrows.
quivers.
That's why he needed to have a job soon.
Yeah.
Put them in your consumables.
They
thing.
need to be in
they're
your
consumables.
consumables.
Yes.
Also, your backpack is probably overloaded, but we'll worry about that later. And now you should have the drop down for them. In your actions tab, there should be a no ammo drop down. You can now select arrows, and then you can shoot.
Aha, arrows. All right, now we're cooking with gas. After much ado, it is time to strike. Oh, almost a crit. Almost a crit.
14 hits the slug. into
Right.
its like slimy hide. It croaks angrily.
4 damage, and then this attack. Because the slug was.
Oh yeah, I could have set him flat-footed.
That's
before
fine. A D. Oh. Another 5. 9 damage to the slug.
Didn't see that coming. It is injured.
Nice,
is
well, you
angry.
almost got that.
And you are right in front of it.
True.
Let's see. Does this have reach? I guess it doesn't say the reach. It will croak and then regurgitate a sticky slime towards you.
Oh.
So it will shoot you sticky slime. Tangling slime even.
Ooh.
Rolling a 16 for 25. Which means you are now clumsy. As you're covered in this sticky, weird slime. You get a 5-foot penalty to speed and are clumsy 1 for 1 hour or until the slime is removed. You can spend a total of 3 actions to remove the slime. They don't need to be consecutive or made by the same creature. Actually, I did that incorrectly. I should not have. No. There, effect tangling slime. Then it will step towards you and try to ram you with its tusks. For a 20. It will be 7 points of damage.
Ow.
You're fine.
It croaks angrily. It is no longer looking at the very disgusting looking slab of meat that landed next to you, but looking with a salivating Brogmaw at you instead. Armina.
Okay, so she'll move her speed over here.
So I should turn on some combat music.
Combat music.
Yes.
And
You love the fates over here.
beep,
And then there's a frog lance.
beep, beep, beep. Can she pick up the meat and huck it at the frog's face? So like try to get it just behind it, just to get it to like piss off. If she like hucked it over here.
Well, you do see that it's currently not super interested in the meat. You could pick it up and
It's
chuck it
more
at
interested
him.
in the live meat.
Yeah.
All right. So much for that one. All right. So I think I have 5 feet of movement left because I'm encumbered by armor. But oh no, the base speed is 25 in this game, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, your sheet should tell you your movement speed, which is 20 feet.
Yeah. Okay, 20. So just
Also, do note that every second diagonal counts double. So try to
Yeah.
always move in one line, so it auto calculates that.
Yeah.
Or like one
We'll
move. at
have
least.
to. Yes, one move to get here, and then flanking's a thing, right?
Yes.
5, 10, 15 to get over here. And then third action, we will strike with the longsword.
Also, I need to retcon something really quick. Dancer, you did not get hit because I didn't apply the multiple attack penalty.
Ah.
Too
Hooray!
busy
Yay,
hacking
multi-attack
slime.
penalty works. All right. Yeah.
Oh no!
That one. First roll of the campaign. Great start.
This longsword is faulty.
Swing goes wide.
Hey, you know what? We've been playing for over an hour, right? Fuck it. I'll use a hero point.
Oh, all right.
Sure.
Actually, we have 2 minutes to a second hero point. There we go.
Better.
24. Oh, right. I got to target the thing. Hang on. There we go.
So worth noting that the guideline is to give the party 1 hero point per hour, not each character.
Okay, okay. Good. I'm glad to hear that.
You can have it. It's fine.
No, it's all good. It's not worth using it on that if it's once per, like if it's per party.
Do we start with one?
You start each session with one,
Okay.
and it is heavily suggested that I, as the DM, approximately give you 1 per hour, but don't count on it.
Sure.
I will forget, or you might not do something cool enough to warrant a hero point,
Wow.
but I will
I
try.
see.
Judgy.
Fair.
Just setting expectations.
Alright.
Now, if
Well-
you do cool things, I'll hand them out occasionally.
Well, if it's okay with you, yeah, maybe I will use it so that it doesn't keep
I
attacking
mean,
her.
decide, have you used the hero point?
Yes, I will use it. Let's do it.
Okay, you hit the frog creature with a 24
Damage.
for 7 points of damage.
Mhm. And that's the end of my turn.
Valky.
All right. Shooting through my allies. Does that give cover?
Yes, I believe so.
If I step here, is that enough? Or would I have to go further?
Give me a second.
No rush.
Where's cover? Movement, no. I thought it was just on this convenient page, but it is not. Wait, I've got another thing I can look at. No. No. I'm sure I had a cover table ready for just this occasion. There we go. It is a lesser cover, which is a +1 bonus to AC, reflex save, and stealth checks.
Okay, even if I stand here.
If you stand there, I think it still is, because Dante is blocking too much of the creature.
Okay, I'll just use the bless to counteract then. Yeah, he'll pull out his bow and get shooting. He will spell strike here, so he's gonna cast a spell and then deliver it through his bow. So let's shoot first to see if I actually hit, and then we can decide that later. That's a crit. Oh dear, poor thing. Okay, well, here's the crit for the bow.
27, yeah, that's exactly a crit. 18.
And then the spell discharges, which is this one. I'll pick piercing because you can decide. Yeah, damage is this, and double that, I guess.
Right, the slug just explodes as the magical arrow hits it. Lets out a almost wailing shriek as it just collapses into the very pile of meat it sought to consume. Combat is over.
Dancer
Sort of
looks
in the distance, you hear a high-pitched, horrified shriek that quickly disappears into the distance.
as Pixies.
Can I pick up the meat and then overhand or underhand lob it back up to the upper floor of the tower, throwing it back
Sure.
at them?
It is disgusting. Yeah, picking it up, it doesn't even look like the meat of normal wildlife. It has these. It's just gross.
Yeah, she's wearing gloves. Even in her heart. Huck it
you
back
are
at them and
trying-
slap it against the.
Yeah, you are trained in nature. This is not just some deer or whatever that was killed. This is something real weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I recall knowledge about whatever this is?
Sure. It'll be nature, I think. It's definitely not a dwarf, I can tell you that much. For
Sure.
dwarven knowledge does not apply.
Also worth noting of this feat I have from my partnership with Rin, just for your information.
Okay.
Before I roll this. But yeah, let's roll this and see. 22.
No, this is absolutely correct. This seems to be an enormous hunk of insect meat. rotten and like a bit moldy, but it's definitely like a massive insect.
Oh dear. Yeah, he would mention as such.
Spencer will spend 3 actions to get the slime off himself.
Yeah.
While looking, he sort of looks at his bow and then looks at Thorfin, then looks at his bow again, and like, fuck. what is? My God! the hole that's punched through the slurk. Like you.
there's a thin smile on his face. His eyes twinkle a bit.
Full of surprises. That's the Deepgem. I have scarcely seen such skill.
Well, us dwarves are determined. Practice comes easy.
Hey. Still.
I'll remove the sliminess from myself.
But it's quite clear that there is something going on here.
I have a sneaking suspicion the Pixies will try to sick more of the swamp's inhabitants. Guys, try to proceed with caution. So, pick up all of his things. Again, in forward.
Alright.
Yeah, the room is nasty. Like looking around, you're pretty sure that those lumps and smears on the wall are not just mud, but more like some creature's excrement just smeared about.
Take these.
The doors look similar to the ones to the south. Dilapidated, basically rotten.
Are they? Oh, excuse me. Here to be trapped, or is there like an alarm or something?
Roll a secret perception for you. You don't see any traps or anything. But fairly certain it would be very easy to spot because, I mean, these doors are basically almost disintegrated into just the same mud that the fog is, that the swamp is made out of. They're very old.
Then attempt to.
Has a bit of resistance, but does push open, revealing a wooden drawbridge, timbers grey with age and decay, spanning a 20-foot gap between the outbuilding and the sprawling ruin on the island that Gauntlight Keep is located on. Rusty iron chains hanging from the ruin's northern wall to the drawbridge's southern side. The chains, however, look ready to fall apart and give the drawbridge's structural integrity an extra layer of dubiousness.
Right. Around. More slurks popping up.
You don't see any slurks lurking about.
Might be worth. Oh, hold on. Wait. Grab dancer.
Dancer's pretty light, so he figures if this bridge
Yeah.
is gonna hold for anyone, it is probably him.
Still might be best to, tie off just in case.
Quickly get some rope out from his backpack. He'll tie it around his waist and then hand the end of the rope to Armina.
Not just around the waist. You gotta make a harness. I saw someone do that once, and then, yeah, not good. Because that's a whole thing.
The 10-foot drop. I shouldn't snap in half. I'm sure it's fine.
Just got the Vietnam flashbacks. She doesn't have the frame of reference, but I'm like, you've seen Spider-Man, right?
I
Around the waist is
well,
not going to work.
perfectly fine. Perfectly fine.
Yeah.
The bridge creaks and buckles as Dancer steps on it, but it seems to hold.
All right.
Oh, let's go next.
He steps here. Do these doors look as sturdier, or are they still like the same sort of crappy?
Check. They seem a little bit sturdier. They don't have any obvious holes, at least. And they are not as rotten, but presumably mostly because they are a bit thicker than the others. But
I'll try
Those
before
seem
we
rather
proceed.
good.
I'll try to listen, see if I hear anything on the other side. We might have to open them.
right, give me a perception check.
Perception.
11. You do hear faint sounds. Definitely something moving inside, and you're pretty sure you're making out faint voices, perhaps?
Well, Answer will like whisper to the others that there's on the other side of these doors. So when we get moving, we need to open the doors to get in. There might be fight.
What?
What?
Yeah, exactly. You tie off your rope to something over there, and then if the bridge does give, we have something to help climb back up.
They're
On
like
your side?
something to tie it in, like a ring on the wall or something like.
Yeah, there's like a ring. You can maybe attach it to
Chain
like
right
some of
over
these chains.
Sure,
Securely enough, anyways.
do that then.
All right. Well, if it wasn't going to break for someone, it was going to be you. If it is going to break for someone, it's going to be me. So, Team Dwarf, do you want to go ahead, or do you want to see if
Go have at
you
it.
know have the test be with
Might as well be divided in twos if go to break.
yeah.
This
There you go.
monofilament wire we're apparently tying ourselves with.
All right.
Give me a sec.
Can I?
There's no stepping back now.
No. I try and crawl across.
All
Yeah,
right.
more weight distribution.
Bridge creaks. You start crawling?
Yep, crawling.
Sure. Bridge creaks slightly less, but still does.
Okay.
All right. So you
I
arrive
am
on the other side.
surprised.
Off you go, Rogar. I'll be behind.
All right. Of course, I can't really get off of it though.
Step by step.
Make room, dancer. I'm just gonna come in here.
In case,
However,
Dancer
isn't
will open
really
the door.
Yeah.
All right.
Easy up against.
You open the door, revealing a large hall.
Oh, very much all. Okay.
Let me see. Revealing a large hall. Piles of rotting timber and loose stones lie in heaps throughout this large L-shaped hall. Clumps of moss and tangled vines spill down from gaps in the wooden ceiling above each pile of rubble. Several doors lead out to all sides, most barely clinging to their hinges and frames. Debris completely blocks a wooden stairwell that leads up to a large hole in the ceiling. Here and there, the stone walls bear the scars of fire or damage from an ancient battle. In addition, as you open, you see a group of creatures. A peculiar sight for sure. These guys over here.
Oh no.
3 gremlin creatures who, with sticks, are currently poking a massive lava of some sort. You make out a few words before they basically spot you, as Dancer might be trying to keep steady, keep stealthy and such, but the door creaks and there's Rogar just standing there.
Pushing Dancer forward.
Yes. Now
Yeah.
go in, go in. No need to
Yeah,
be
you
Didn't
shy.
get off this bridge before.
The gremlin creatures seem to be encouraging the lava, and now that the door's open, they're in fact encouraging it to go straight towards you, which it seems to be willing to do, as you, for some reason, do look tasty.
The monster.
As we'll go into initiative, basically.
All right.
Right.
Perception.
Hit it.
Active encounter. Thank you.
Oh, I see. The initiative changes, like lights up when you have the encounter active. That's nice. Oh, okay.
How do I roll initiative for these?
Quick.
Wow. All right, guys.
Yeah. Okay.
We're motivated. I'm taking off this Ridley Bridge.
They're mean on it.
True, Armina's missing.
I think you rolled a check, not the initiative. Underneath.
Oh,
You're
oops.
also muted.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to click the initiative button. Or the...
You had the little die under it? Yeah, I did.
yes.
I'm sure I didn't.
Oh,
we might
shit,
have
that
done
was
it
the
before
text.
I activated the encounter.
Ah,
Okay.
I can just roll for you.
too
yeah.
quick.
There you go.
What did I get?
Oh, yeah, you really want to get in there.
Yeah.
Dancer, it's you.
Okay, well... I still here. In and had to hide behind one of these.
Yeah, I'll say they haven't quite seen you yet. They just have heard the noises and see the door opening.
Yes, I will attempt to stealth for. But I can't
Yeah, if
because
you
it's
step into straight line of sight, they will just automatically spot you, however.
I do believe that if I start and end my turn in cover, I might be able to. I don't know. I don't remember exactly the wording of it. You can like
Let's
duck
see.
from cover to cover, maybe.
Maybe. Let me look what Neek says. Could I attempt to move to another place while becoming or staying undetected, stride up to half your speed? At the end of your movement, the GM rolls your stealth check in secret and compares the result. If you have cover from the creature throughout your stride, you get bonus. So yes, you can sneak from cover to cover. If you were fully covered during your stride, you get a bonus, but you can also do it without requiring that.
Attempt to stealth forward.
Oh, I'll unpause.
Are these cover? Where can I find cover here?
You could find cover behind like the piles of rubble, like here and here perhaps, or in the like door frame perhaps.
Oh, what I wanted. Help.
Where's the gas?
Yeah, sure. There.
Yep, that would work, I think.
Still here. Yes.
Alright, I believe I roll a blind check. Rolls your stealth check in secret, yes.
Yes. I think I just rolled 1 and compared to all of their like perception tests.
Yep. I rolled for you.
Awesome. In that case, hoping that he noticed by Dancer will with his second action shoot this mite with his short bow.
Alright, you can shoot at it.
Right. Ike. Oh.
That is a miss, even with it being flat-footed.
After that, he stealth behind the cover, like duck down again. And might know roughly where he is, but at least they can't see him.
Yeah, they have a good idea where you are, especially since you attacked. You would have to roll another sneak check to regain your being undetected. Right now, they know where you are, and you would have cover from them.
Yep. I will attempt with my last action to.
Move, shot, and sneak again. Okay. Or would it be a sneak, or would it be like a hide? I think it would be a hide. You huddle behind cover, yes. The gem rolls your stealth check in secret. All right. I feel like I will be doing that a lot. Let's see. Yeah, glancing over where you think you've hidden, they do seem to still have their eyes trained on you.
Oh well. Well, I attempted. That's me.
Cheap. I just noticed my original roll was at 23, but I have a 18 listed here.
Sure, I can
Which
choose
would
it for
be
you.
next. Can somebody remind me how to pop out the initiative so it's on a different window?
Right
Just
click.
right click on the
Right-clicking counter.
Oh, you
dwarves.
right click.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Right. Thank you very much.
You can do that with any of those windows, by the way.
Sareth, dude, Manaki, dude. Forgot they're there.
Yeah. What's the named combination?
Yeah. So we heard these little old goblin guys. Don't see dancers. Perfectly stealthed.
Expert.
Yes. Now something I had thought about and I was going to bring up during the slurk encounter, and if you are okay with us retconning stuff, Sheep, I do feel like some thrown weapons would probably be in Armina's kit.
If you have the money for them, you can have bought a couple. I don't know how you still have your starting 15 gold. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's gone on there.
You might have grabbed them without clicking the pay button. You just instead grab
the splint mail costs 13 gold, the longsword 1, so you would have 1 gold.
A gold, yeah. Well, I don't know off the top of my head what the things cost, so never mind. Maybe she dropped it. Who knows? So
Let me fix
your
your
move. There we go.
cash for you.
15 and 20. I think her main concern is she does not want these guys to be running off again and throwing more creatures at us, so she's going to spend all 3 actions striding. So to get in their face, that would be another. So this is her second diagonal of the round, so that would be 10, 15, 20 to get here, and then 5, 10. Get here. Yeah, and she doesn't have enough to get another diagonal, so I think that's me. Just run over here. There are at least 2 guys.
That dancer hears one of the groveling creatures screech excitedly in undercommon, saying, "Maybe Pet will level up when it eats this metal man."
Level up.
Nice. Also, it's worth noting that I also have undercommon sheep. But
Yeah, then you understand them as well.
yeah.
Well, look at these things.
Think of the XP.
Forward a little bit here, and then one move, and then I will look at that maggot, and I will Cayden, have your head, creature. Try to use the daze cantrip. That's two actions to cast. Gets to do a wills.
The maggot gets to do a will save. It fails.
Well, then it takes damage. That's the spell macro there.
Yeah, you generally roll the damage and then I
Oh,
apply
all right, sure.
3 damage.
Your brain damage. Yeah.
It wiggles. You
That's
think
what can
it's,
happen when
it's
you
in
drink
pain.
too much in excess, you see. Oh, all right.
The maggot turns its beady eyes towards the source of his headaches. The gremlin creature. I mean, Mina's right there. It already has a shot out because it's been poking the maggot, so it'll step here and start stabbing. Oh, I think I'm rolling all of these secret for no reason. I mean, it is a miss. As it will move here, stab. Actually, do another step as it says, come, pet, eat this one. The other creature will also stab, as it is. I'll tenderize it for you. Oh, that's a miss. It'll try again.
think so.
Yeah. No, that's terrible. What else can it do? Not much, actually.
You know, I thought as a fighter that the multi-attack bounty was gonna really hurt, but so far I'm it's working out for me.
No, I'm just gonna try staring at it. It's just frantically like waving its stubby, rusty short sword, clonking it against the armor. It doesn't really do much. It is Thorfin's turn.
All right.
Got the combat music.
I'm going to attempt to cross the bridge now.
All right.
Let me.
It's still at the back of the bridge.
Okay.
Bridge creaks, but it holds.
All right. I need to measure distance here. Aha! Perfect. No problem. All right. Well, he'll stride this as an action. He'll use 2 actions to spell strike. He'll target this one here. That's trying to flank. Might have some cover, but I'll try anyway. Where's my bow?
Yeah, it'll have lesser cover. You're shooting through Rogar there.
Yeah, that's fine. How do you want me to? Do you want me to apply that before I roll, or how do you want me to do that?
Is there a thing where I can put that in? Actually, it might be automatically calculated. Just roll.
I'll just roll it. All right, sure. I missed anyway.
6 would be a 13. It doesn't seem to think it has cover, so it probably doesn't automate it. I'll figure that out for next time.
I can always add
Yeah.
a circumstance bonus if you let me know, and I just memorize what each is. I can just put it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed, and my spell strike's 2 actions, so I am done.
The shot goes wide, the magically glowing arrow just funking into the mud. This Mifflet here. It'll rush forward, sort of. Oh wait, how do I do waypoints? I think I measure and then I can press space. Oh yes, it can. How do I shift? How do I do waypoints? I'll
I read
measure.
last time, but I don't remember now.
Yeah, spacebar.
The spacebar puts you hold control. Sorry, let me move my character. When you use the measure tool,
Oh,
if
God.
you control and then click, you can set,
Oh, I see. Okay.
and then press spacebar to complete the action.
Okay, it'll spend 2 action striding forward, charging at Rogar here.
All right, how do you do the waypoints?
You hold control and then click while you're measuring.
So
You
it
have to use the
yelled
measure
something about not hurting its pet.
Okay.
Missing terribly. That's its turn. The maggot. It is. How fast are you? I'm not used to where I have to look in this character sheet quite yet. Oh, it is. It is so slow. It is just, undulating across the ground, but it can actually step next to Armina here, and it will try to basically grasp her with its massive mandibles.
Ooh.
For 19.
Yep, that'll hit.
Which means it'll do some damage and also grab you. It does 9 points of damage.
Oh my goodness. That's a lot.
The creature is grabbed by by its mandibles. Dancer. See a massive slug-like glove attached to Armina's armor.
Looks dangerous. It looks over to Rogar. And there's like mid-flit creature. I help Rogar. Should I go? I feel like I might need some help up there. Do you think Rogar is fine against that creature?
Probably. I mean,
Probably.
I mean, if you were to go up, should be providing flanking for
that's what I'm thinking.
little guy.
That's one thing. All right. Then I will. Let's see. I will stride. I will drop the bow as a free action and pull out the elven cur blade. Right up here.
Okay. That's one action to pull that out. One action to stride. Flanking train begins.
Yes. Alright.
Now I know I'm playing Pathfinder again.
Yeah.
Mongolite.
It's like playing Go.
Kinda, yeah. Alright.
By 21, smashing the gremlin creature just into the ground in a single strike.
As Dancer moves up and draws out the curve blade, now his name becomes more apparent as he gently glides forward, almost in a dance-like fashion. And when he strikes out with the blade, it is one fluid motion, and really not only does he strike, he also hit a vulnerable spot. Do a little twist and a flick with the blade to send the creature just retching onto the ground.
While still being grappled by the thing, she's like, "Do it!
Good work!"
The other gremlin creature goes, "No, Smorgoth, no!"
oh.
Smorgoth!
Oh no, Smorgoth! Oh!
That is Armina's turn.
Okay,
Anthem.
let's go multi-attack. Probably strike at the guy grappling me or grabbing me. Are there any mechanical effects from being grabbed
Yes,
other than I can't move?
there are. If you want to do a strike, I believe that has the manipulate keyword. How do I find that out? Surely it shows up here somewhere. Let me make sure it's good. It takes a little moment, but I want to learn these things early. Strike, strike, strike. Strike. 471. A strike does not, in fact, have the manipulate keyword. So you are fine, but if you were trying to take something out of your pocket, there would be a chance that you couldn't because you're grabbed.
Cool. I guess I'm just gonna keep stabbing.
Yeah, just keeping you in place, but you can swing well enough. You didn't
25.
target.
Oh, I forgot. Yep, sorry. Target.
You hit it, and that is a crit.
Hell yeah. Let's roll.
Damn.
I guess click damage twice?
No, just click it once. I'll apply double. Against the maggot, right?
Yes.
All right. as you smash it dead in one hit.
Excellent.
And as it dies, it just lets it stops grabbing you, and then just its mouth almost goes inside out as it regurgitates everything it's eaten.
Ugh.
And, you must make a. Let me just put this in chat. Oh,
I
that's
just noticed its eyes on that token. That's great.
Yeah.
they're great, aren't they? Why can I not put that into? Oh, because I've got my default to only talk to GMs. Click on that fortitude save for me.
Oh, great. Awesome. Let's go. Ugh. Average.
Hey.
18 is enough. That is a success. The Mifflet
Yeah.
has to do 2. Yes, it is covered in this
Critical
growth
failure.
stuff.
Oh no!
That is it's sickened.
Oh, Snorko.
Second. Yes. Snorko, no.
He's like,
Alright, Rogar.
face
Well, hang
full.
on. That was only my first attack.
Oh,
My second two.
sorry.
No worries. My
I'm
second
so
two
used
attacks
to-
are gonna go to this little goblin dude.
Not only
Uh,
did you...
Remember to target him and press
Yeah,
the...
I got him targeted. And we'll hit the thing. Nope. But the third attack might get lucky. We'll see.
No, it's all 20.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
That's okay. Worth a
Alright.
try. And then,
Now-
how do I get rid of all these little icons, these little status things on me?
I'll remove them from you. Actually, it's an effect, isn't it? No, it's not. You're no longer grabbed. There you go.
Yeah, I'm free. Alright, that's my turn.
Rogar, being dueled by a gremlin.
Better stab it. Oh, I should have targeted it. How do I do that again? Shift?
Hover over it and press T.
T for target. That is a hit. 5 points of damage as you stab it. It stumbles back. Suddenly, its features turn into a grimace as it is so angry.
Like, cast days on him.
Creatures.
Power of Cayden Cailean compels you.
Does not have an attack opportunity, sadly.
I figured.
nice.
Let's good roll.
Oh,
Oh no, he's
Oh.
too angry to be affected by your mind magics.
I think
Oh,
a
stab.
basic will save, I believe, makes him take half on a save.
That sounds like it's right. Roll me some damage then.
It's just one. It's just my modifier. You just take 1 damage if you burn it down. It is 3 for modifier.
He took 1 damage.
Yep.
This guy is gone. Oh, but this. He's sickened. He's sad. He's gonna try to run away. He'll attempt to run.
Kill him.
Run from a fighter? That's such a bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Goodbye.
crit.
That is a crit. All right, roll me some damage.
Christ.
Yeah, you just cleave him in half as he turns around, stops paying attention to you.
Dying on your own turn. That's just sad.
Thorfin.
Harsh.
All right. Well, I think I should probably get to a place where I can actually shoot this thing. You said something about diagonals being more. Right?
Yeah, it should do it automatically if you move via measuring, but every second diagonal basically counts as 10 feet.
Oh
So
dear.
going here. Oh, that's not. Going here would be 15 feet and not 10. Sorry, wrong dwarf. Going here would be 15 feet and not 10.
I get you. So I can go here.
Yes.
Right.
If the measurement tools tell you it's 20 feet, it's 20 feet.
Okay, so now it shouldn't have cover, surely.
Now it does not. I think. I'll have to look how cover is determined exactly. In Pathfinder, it used to be you need to be able to have a straight line of sight to every corner of its token.
Yeah, I think I read something about center to center of like the.
Yeah, it's one of those. Let me see if the rulebook agrees with me. Cover, you can, okay, cover is relative. If you're uncertain and need to be more precise, draw a line from the center of your space to the center of the target space. That line would pass through any terrain or object that will block it. The target is standard cover. If the line passes through a creature instead, the target is lesser cover. So I think you're fine.
All right, shoot it. Nothing fancy here. I think I should just shoot the hell out of it. Should be enough. Where are my actions? They're here. Okay. That's a crit. So
That is a.
be gone.
It is gone.
Ugh.
Like it has like this angry screeching battle cry and then just goes thump, silent. As combat is over for the time being as the sounds subside in this murky room. Although really it's only murky for Armina because the rest of you have low light vision.
Dark vision even.
Dark vision, even, yeah.
Yeah, dark vision would make it black and white, but with the like faint light filtering through the broken roof and your low light vision, you can see perfectly fine and in color.
Great.
Oh, well, Dancer wipes his blade slightly, licks off the last of the blood, and then looks at the party. Says, "I must say I am quite impressed with all of you. No idea. Well, I suppose I should have given Otara's reputation, but no idea. So many competent locals."
Yeah. Just another day, I guess. A bit of town with, like you say, the adventurous origins. It's going to attract a certain crowd. I'm just impressed with the craftsmanship of my brother's work. Call this one a success, I think. At least in its inaugural round.
Look at the like completely
So-
splattered maggot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maggot and goblin
Yep.
guts that she's cleaning off of it. Like this one will sell quite well, I think.
Armina, are you okay yourself? You seem.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm hurting. That was rushing up to most of them. Not the smartest idea, but I was worried about them running off again.
I
So
could take a look
you
at
know,
that.
throwing more monsters at us. I mean, hey, don't threaten me with a good time.
There's a snicker from Dancer as he looks over. How hurt?
She's injured. She is not bloodied, but did take a substantial amount of damage compared to her max
I'll
HP.
try to patch her up then.
She could not take many of those hits in a row.
Thorfin will offer his aid to you in
Okay.
doing that.
Before.
I don't know what aid does here. Let me find it. Wherever that is. Where is that in the action list? Here. I see it.
Found it? Okay.
Yes. See if I can click it. Okay. Yeah, so I guess you go first, Jonas, explain how you're helping, and then I can explain how to help you with it.
Okay. I mean, Dancer will. He has a bandolier with a lot of like little weird tools slung across him. There's little potions and salves and herbs and sutures and a lot of little pockets and whatnot. And from them, he will, he'll guide Armina to sit down on one of the stone slabs or something. Because here, when you work on stuff, if the subject sits steadily or lies down. And then he will start picking over the wounds, look at them, and use some salves for cleaning, and then dress the wounds. They'll use to treat the wound.
It's a bit of a wry chuckle from Thorfin because he reveals that he's almost the exact same setup, mostly for himself. So he's basically going to just assist you by having like 2 extra pairs of hands.
Yep.
So I guess he would.
And knowing what to do with the material.
Yeah, so I need to roll a skill check to help
What
you
is
with
what
yours.
is your medicine check?
Scalpel.
4? I'm not that wise. So,
Yeah, that's
yeah, so I don't know if the healer's kit just lets me.
yeah. It lets you do this.
Doesn't give you a bonus. All right, I'll just roll. I mean, could go wrong, surely.
You roll first.
Yeah,
Hey.
aid you. I don't know if that's a success.
Pick it up.
It's a DC 20.
Oh, to
Okay.
aid?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's tricky.
The typical DC is 20, but the GM might adjust this DC for particularly hard or easy task. Even an easy task, a 13 wouldn't be enough. Like in this case, it would be like a case of too many hands, and you both want to do something else. And it's like, no,
It's
we need this.
poke.
No, just let me do my thing.
Bones off.
Well, it's not a crit fail at least, right?
No.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, they just posted that thing.
So it takes 10 minutes, so I guess...
Too
you
many
should
cooks in the
short
kidneys,
rest,
guys.
maybe. Well,
As the old Otari saying goes. Let's see if I can do it. Hey!
Hey.
Wow,
19.
that is crap hit points.
You settle down for a bit.
What? 4 hit points? Thank you.
You got 4 hit points. 2d8, and you got 4 hit.
I mean, hey, I'll take it.
Oh, he will suit her up, or like, you know, dress the wound a little bit, and he says, well, it's a bit awkward, the replacement of these, some of these cuts, but I believe this is the best I can do for now.
I appreciate it. Thanks. I mean, hey, hopefully, we've seen, if not the last of it, then the worst of it.
We
Be a
shall
little
see.
more careful if that's not true.
Pack up the stuff again into his bandoliers and clean his hands. Neil, look around. Is there any loot? Creatures? Valuables?
You look around for what these gremlin creatures possessed. They had some very shoddy short swords, some darts.
Some
Other than
shoddy
that,
swords.
let me see. You do find like mostly just knickknacks they collected, like very smooth rocks and other things like that. No real riches among them.
all
Hey,
right.
some darts though. You never know.
Yeah, if you
Well.
want to clean up everything they've ever owned, they can give you their stuff and put it into your character sheet, but you basically sell for half
no.
price. But in the case of weapons, you would have to find someone who actually cares enough to buy them.
Right.
Like, that's not just a given.
Unless it is obviously magical or glintingly valuable, I think
Yeah.
I'll be picking it.
You could, of course, search more thoroughly with an actual search. Like maybe they didn't have things on them, but they stored them like nearby, like in the rubble. Who knows?
We need to clear this place first, and then we can do that.
Yeah.
I don't know what else might still be alive in here.
If Thorfin casts detect magic, does he sense anything? Like in the rubble here?
You search around, detecting magic as you do.
Yeah.
Well, give me. Let's see.
Yeah, what would that be?
I mean, give me a perception check.
Okay.
Actually, technically, I have to roll them secretly.
Sure, go
Let
ahead.
me roll for you.
Sure.
You look around with your detect magic running and don't really spot anything that would be considered shiny and such.
All right.
But up in the northwest of the room, you do notice something that catches your eye.
Oh.
As there seems to be a bit of the wall that has a whole bunch of scratches beside it that are sort of stop in the middle as if The wall doesn't seem like it joins properly.
Oh,
Ooh.
we'll call everyone over.
Right?
It is
up?
up here. Corner.
I see. Okay. Well, I guess he'll like start searching the wall with his hands. I mean,
Yeah,
Okay.
having spotted that, it's a fairly trivial activity to take that piece of wall and just slide it. It resists a bit, but not actually that much,
let's do it.
and reveals tiny alcove
Oh,
with some magic-looking things. Although your spell doesn't really give you any indication that it is in fact magical, but you
Okay.
could give me your choice of an Arcana or occultism check
both
to
equal.
recall knowledge.
Huh. I'll try Arcana. Why not? Just remember my dubious knowledge thing.
Oh no.
So yeah, what do I know?
So this is one of two things. It might very well be a magical trap in front of another secret door, or it might be something that at one point teleported someone somewhere, or both.
Ah, well, he'll bequeath his knowledge to everyone else in almost a similar fashion that Rin does of this could be this or it could be that, or it could be nothing.
Damn, that's
Yeah, you're pretty sure it's either a trap or not a trap.
Yeah.
Well, that. Well,
Can I take a look, or is it that?
If you're trained in Arcana or Occultism, you can have a second opinion, basically.
I am. See if I can have a second.
Oh, also worth noting, your feat does say you don't get anything on a crit fail, which this would have been.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know that. My bad. Then I know nothing.
Well, I gave you what you know.
Oh,
Who
okay,
knows?
sure. Oh yeah, okay.
Just for the future.
Doesn't mean they interpreted it wrong.
It's true.
Did?
I mean, you're scratching your head as well. Yeah, could be a trap. Could be not a trap. It looks like it wants to be stood on.
Drugs.
All right, move aside, gentlemen. I know how to detect traps.
Stepping on them. Oh no.
Nothing happens.
Look, I found no traps.
Great.
There we go.
As the fortress self-destruct sequence has been initiated.
Exactly. A little
Yep.
countdown timer. Beep, beep.
Evacuate all personnel. Red alert.
It looks very old and like scratched at. Whatever it is, it doesn't seem to do anything.
All right. Well, let's get going, I guess. Many ways to continue.
Yeah, the door to the north seems surprisingly sturdy compared to the other doors you've seen so far.
Oh, neat.
Take the door down there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we sort of ran past a bunch of them. Might be best.
Dancer
to-
nods and said, I am careful by nature. Something comes out from one of those doors behind us, we might get trapped.
Yeah, we don't want to be surrounded. That's a good point.
Gently tip-tappy down here. Go to this door and open it.
Alright, give me a second. You open the door, revealing another collapsed room with perhaps the most obvious and immediately apparent feature being a dead frog the size of a horse lying sort of sprawled in a collapsed part of the wall. It's missing its back legs.
Oh. A bit more.
Don't spot anything else. There, to your north, appears to be a collapsed wooden staircase. It's holes in the roof again. Don't hear anything.
Yeah. Investigate the frog. Forward here. Does the frog seem to have like stirk-like bite marks on it, perhaps?
Give me a perception check. Right. And then give me another perception check in the form of a initiative.
Oh no!
As from the carcass of the frog suddenly bursts forth massive maggots disturbed in their slumber.
Maggots!
Oh,
Oh,
no.
god! Their bug eyes and faces are so weird.
They are.
They look very surprised. They have also little... Why do they have like little necklaces on? Who made them?
Well, they seem to be dressed.
They don't have opposable thumbs. They can't make things. Madness! This is a house of madness.
Stop moving out there. You too can roll initiative here.
Oh,
Oh, well,
this fly is very.
it's very buzzy, isn't it?
Yeah, there is a significant buzzing of flies also. Dancer, as you get to act first, as suddenly there's maggots.
Okay. Not like this. He looks behind him in a slight panic to see what the rest of the party is.
Well, Rogar is coming with him. He doesn't want to get too close because he knows he himself is not the most stealthy of people. He'd be rather loud, but he's just come in the door.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw what these did to our poor fighter here. I'm not as sturdy, but that said, the murder these. Tempted to fall back. I might fall back.
Might be the
No.
yeah.
Right. Actually, see and cover here. If I attack the maggot, would he have cover?
I don't know if you can have cover from melee attacks. Let me find out. It does not say that you don't. So yes, since center to center goes through terrain, he would have standard cover, which is +2 to AC.
What is the thing of ready in action? Can I move and then ready in action like an attack on approach?
That's a good question. I don't think so. I think you can just delay your turn.
I see a ready action, but it takes 2 actions.
Oh, yeah, that
page
was. You
470.
You can spend 2 action to basically ready an opportunity action.
Okay. In that case, I will stride back here, and I will ready use my 2 actions to ready a melee strike on the first enemy that comes close to me.
Okay. Yeah, you prepare to use an action that will occur outside your turn. Choose a single action or free action you can use and designate a trigger. Your turn ends.
Yep.
If the trigger you designate occurs before the start of your next turn, you can choose the chosen action. You can use the chosen action as a reaction. And if you have a multiple attack penalty and your ready action is an attack action, your ready attack action also takes the multiple attack penalty. So it's not a way to circumvent that.
Actually, sheep.
Yes.
I forgot something important.
Okay.
I will not do that. In fact, sorry, I forgot one of my actual feats I have as a rogue, because I have surprise attack, which means on the first round of combat, if I roll deception or stealth for my initiative, which I did, creatures that haven't acted yet are flat-footed towards.
All right. The maggots sense something, but they don't know quite that you're there yet.
Yep. So he will like he moves Dancer moves here. The maggots like sprawl out, and he will immediately like flick around on his heel and just dart back, like with light steps. As it does, we'll pull out the bow with an action and then shoot. That's
All right.
target. Strike.
Yeah, make sure that you manage your equipment here, because right now you've got both the curve blade
Yeah,
and the short bow.
it's just it's a lot of clicking in these menus, and
Yeah.
I'm hoping that just stating my.
Yeah, that is good enough for me. A 14 is a hit. Roll me some damage.
All right,
They are thick, easy targets.
4, and then the sneak attack on that. Oh, a spin on that. 12 total.
All right. It is badly injured, as yeah, it sort of buffs up part of its meal, spewing like this thick, slimy, gross, just innards of itself everywhere, but there's nobody around to care.
Awesome.
The other maggot is not bothered.
He sees this every day. I mean, they live in a dead frog. I suppose nothing can gross them out, really.
This maggot, it sees fresh meat, which is just so rare. It will spend one entire stride to go here, and the rubble is difficult terrain, so it'll spend one stride to go here, spending all its movement, and then it'll spend its next stride to go next to you.
Yes, my plan worked.
A very efficient turn. That is worth noting, though. The rubble you see is generally difficult terrain.
Okay.
Thorfin, it's your turn.
All right. I don't know what's going on, but I hear something, so I'm gonna go see what the hell that is. I see. Badly injured maggot over there. Okay. So I assume this would be like greater cover. It's behind rubble and stuff, or
No, the rubble isn't high enough to block it, but Rogar's in the way, so it would
That
have
is
a +1
fine.
AC.
I'm going to use a focus spell. Let's see here. Is it worth? No, I should say that. How, like, what's the frequency of short rests in this edition, Sheep? Like, is it like, I know they last 10 minutes, but is it like expected to short rest after every encounter, or?
That is up to you. As far as I know, it is generally expected that you take them very frequently.
Okay,
But I couldn't tell you. Do what comes naturally.
sure. I'll use it anyway because I like it. Yeah, okay. Shooting star. So I make a ranged strike. But I ignore concealment and reduce cover by 1 degree for the strike only. So
it's no
shouldn't have
cover.
no cover. So I shoot basically what accounts to a comet from my bow. I'll strike through the air. Let's hopefully hit it. That's a hit.
That is it now.
I'll roll damage. 4.
4 points of damage smashing to the maggot.
And a hit. So there's a trail, like a meter trail in the air, and so I have concealment, negation, and cover reduction to any attacks made against it until the start of my next turn. So I'm gonna just keep striking it now with that. With the attack penalty, but should be fine. That's a hit.
Oh yeah.
I'll hit again. 6.
Maggot convulses and then explodes. Well, it doesn't actually explode. It just sort of pulps, really.
Awesome.
Turns inside out.
That's all my actions. I am done.
Right. Armina.
All right, it's time to round this corner and see what all the fuss is about. Ah, 5, 10, and then second diagonal 20 will just get me here in one stride. And then I will attack twice. This maggot coming for Dancer. First attack. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, that's the target. Remember this time. Here we go.
That is also rubble, so it would be difficult terrain, so that would actually be 25 feet to get there.
Okay, so difficult terrain walking into it also costs double?
I believe so. Let me check.
Or is it just walking out of it? 'Cause I think that's the only rubble square I'm in.
I believe walking into it costs extra movement, but walking out doesn't. Or it might be the other way around. Movement types. Yeah, in the future I want to spend as little time looking up rules as possible, but in this very beginning I think it's very valuable.
Attacks of opportunity?
What am I looking for? Difficult terrain.
Difficult terrain,
It costs 5 extra foot of movement to enter a space of difficult terrain.
To enter a space. Okay.
Yeah, to
Cool.
enter.
So in that case, I would have to stride. I think if I stride, so I would have 15 left. So no, I can't quite get in a position to provide flanking. But I can at least start. I can make my way over there. I got to stride anyway. And then I will make an attack with my longsword. My longsword. Nope.
That is a mess. Value. Rogar.
Well, it turned out quite differently now than it was. I'll go over here and cast days on it. Oh, well, look at him being stunned.
He is stunned.
He loses an action.
Doesn't know what alcohol wants, but it wants it so badly.
He's never. Just that the thought of it stuns him. Beer. His bug
I
eyes
guess
bug
I'll-
out.
I'll roll damage for you.
Yeah, I forgot.
Right, dancer.
Hey. Well, we'll dance here. Drop the bow for a free action, and then out.
Yeah, it's 2 action.
And then swing. Strike.
Yes.
That's a strike, alright, that's a crit.
Look at that.
36 damage. Alright, you strike the, engorged maggot as it just is instantly cleaved in half and then sort of explodes its innards over you and Armina.
Oh no, this again.
Give me fortitude saves.
Alright.
And let's do it.
Hey.
That's fine. Maybe dodging most of it. As is Armina.
Yeah,
If you click the little fortitude in the text I linked, it'll actually automatically save it's a success.
Oh, okay.
itself.
Oh, yeah. Against the. I see what's happening. Yeah.
it's
Answers.
one fluid motion, dropping the bow, and then just pulling out the blade. Takes like a quick dance-like step to the side, and just in one fell arc, just cleaves into it. Yeah, it's just. Then he'll stand up, do his little flick again of the blade to send the juices flying off it.
Yeah. Hey, you still got a little bit on you, acid, Armina, but it's not that bad. It smells a bit. The encounter is over.
Oh, God, these are gross.
This place is filthy. Filthier than I thought.
Yeah. It's hard to believe that there's a connection to a year-old missing persons case here, but Just
And-
keep going, looking for something.
I really can't imagine someone being alive out here for a year, unless they are sort of expert rangers. Something.
Only thing I can think is that if something did happen here, it looks like no one's been here since. That there may still be like evidence of it. I don't know.
Don't suppose these maggots had any valuables?
Not that you can spot.
The
So,
door over
Rogar,
there.
as you go towards the southern door there,
I was looking down the window.
let me turn up the flies again.
Oh no!
Ah!
I don't see anything down south, but there's definitely the sounds of like buzzing coming from the door.
That doesn't really attract him. So place is dismal.
You probably check
Looks
the last
abandoned.
door, though,
Looking.
right?
Yeah, there's another one down here too,
Sure.
leading to the outside, maybe. Open this door.
Dancer skulks. Oh god!
Blah!
Oh god!
Alright, stop.
Where the pyre? Oh, badger.
Did you?
There's a badger there.
Oh
Stand in the window.
no! The
Oh.
badger is murdered!
Fire badger! Killed two
You
horses.
open the door, reveal the interior of this watch post. Wooden ceiling high above, but the most obvious thing, the thick mound of filth and animal carcasses heaped on the floor, making the room anything but inviting. On the pile of carcasses, currently engorging itself, is an enormous fly that turns to look
No.
at you with its
Ew.
multifaceted eyes.
Okay, let's go. Ah,
Roll
Time
me
to
some
die.
initiative.
Alright.
Fresh meat.
Fresh meat.
Yikes.
Ugh.
Initiatives are bad.
Alright, I'm rattled apparently.
Dancer's ready to leap in there. Cut down.
Hmm.
This giant fly. What can I actually do?
Well, music.
It will rush forward with surprising speed and start munching at the armored person who has opened the door.
Oh god.
That is a 26, and I didn't target you.
Yeah, that hits.
Alright. Take 5 points of damage. Also give me a fortitude save.
Ow. Both of those things. 5 damage. And what's that? I don't see an effect here. I'm just gonna do my default one. 24.
You feel sturdy enough. But it's like the gross mandibles covered in like animal filth. Don't look too inviting.
No.
Dancer.
Okay. Don't have a spear. Go around here. You can't really out power with no other. Well, in that case, you.
Got a good point.
Yeah, we'll have to just sort of shoot it with a bow from here, I think. Action. Bow.
Remember to target it.
Yep. Is my bow loaded? I think it stays loaded.
Yeah, for arrows it just stays loaded.
Okay.
For crossbows you don't have to reload and stuff like that.
Oh, that's the Pathfinder, I remember. Reloading! That's an action. Oh. Alright, let's shoot it. Oh! It was on the 20, I saw it.
21 hits the enormous insect straight into its insect face.
6 damage. It was 4. I don't know why I didn't add my dex to it. Maybe it's not. Is a short but not a.
Don't add X to
Oh, it's true.
damage.
Yeah,
or
you
plus.
don't.
Composite, you can add strength, but that's it.
6 damage.
It's the
Alright.
benefit of being ranged. You don't lose your dex bonus.
Right.
You hear buzzing, more buzzing behind the second fly, as suddenly from above, through a hole in the ceiling,
Oh!
second fly
Great.
swoops down. It'll go for dancer here. Mina looks too full of metal for its taste.
Oh, begone, foul beast.
Ooh.
Ahead.
Munching at you at 22. For 3 points of damage. No, 6 points of damage.
Oh.
And a fortitude save, please.
Not that save, certainly. Oh!
Well,
Okay. And then it will take its second attack. Is a 19. For another 6 points of damage. It buzzes frantically, loudly in your face, snapping at you with its dirty mandibles.
Nas was not prepared for a death from above backstab of a fly.
ironically,
Yes.
you surprised them.
Gauntlet.
It is Rogar's turn.
Yes, well, it could help with flanking, but yeah, I'll step in and I'll stab him with a rapier. Target it and stab it. No.
That is a miss.
I'll try again. Well, will I? No, let's be a little careful. I'll cast shield. My third act. Get a little extra AC. That's it.
Right. Thorfin.
Alright, he will step here. And let fly at this fly with the spell strike. Let's see here. Targets for that.
These fly sound effects are too much for me.
Yeah, it's a little loud, that's fine though. Alright, a hit, so do the
I mean, they're
damage.
very large flies. The sound would be deafening at this point.
Yeah, and then the spell hits with the attack. So I will roll damage for that too. That sucks. But it adds my int, so it's good. So 10 total.
And you were targeting that guy.
Yes.
That damage and that damage.
Alright, that was a step, and spell strike is 2 actions, so I'm done.
Bits of its exoskeleton are sort of like torn at this point. Armina, you're surrounded by flies the size that shouldn't exist.
Right. Well,
They're like
trying to
Doberman with wings.
trying to leave is going to be bad. So I think let's just try to clear the field. I'll go after this one behind me since it's been hurt a fair bit. First, actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna go for the one in front of me, the one in the first room. Since other people can have sneak attack or whatever on that one. Where's my character sheet? All right. Target and strike. Let's go. There we go. Critical hit.
Oh, that
Yeah.
Nice one.
that is a great.
Hey, 28 for 12 damage.
Cleave it for 12 damage. It looks almost as if ready to fall apart, but it's an insect. It doesn't know that it's about to die.
Do you have
Yeah,
any
exactly.
effects on your weapon? I don't know if fighters get stuff like that.
You, but not
Say
at
again?
level 1.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
later.
okay. Oh, gotcha.
Man, I keep trying to find times to use my snagging strike, but it just doesn't seem worth it with it being so low. So I guess I'll just try to kill it again. I might want to retrain that. Nope, miss. Third attack.
That is a miss.
No.
That is a critical miss. All right. The fly is close to death. It does not care. It does not have the brain capacity to really know what that means. It'll find a nose. What does it know? Nah, it's stupid. It's just gonna try to bite at you. You're right there. Trying to grab at you
Yeah.
with its mandibles, and it does.
Yeah,
hit,
that'll
in
get
fact.
me.
Oh, it is flanking with its body. So
Yeah, exactly.
that is 4 points of damage, and give me another fortitude save.
Okay, I won't take damage. Ow. And dude. Damn, my fortitude luck has been
That's
crazy
a perception.
today. Oh, wait, what?
You rolled initiative instead of fortitude.
Oh, my bad. Well, the modifier is 2 higher, so it'd be 25.
Yeah, that's plenty. Wait, that's the first deck. This is Pathfinder. Everything. No.
Critical miss.
It can't really do anything else fun, so it's just gonna attack 3 times.
That's fair. Oh,
Oh, it barely hits. You know, the fly in Armina's back, just throwing her off guard enough for that attack to also hit. Another 4 damage. They roll just minimal damage every time. And another fort save.
yes. All right, hit the right thing this time. Oh my god.
Armina is indomitable.
She cannot be, yeah. Her immune system cannot be beaten.
Right. Armina.
Just of that sturdy country stock.
Yeah.
With ruddy cheeks and...
Didn't I just go? I'm pretty sure I got a nat 1 on initiative.
Oh,
Not
you
sure what you got.
re-rolled your initiative. So.
Oh, that's what happened. I see.
You know where you were? I think you were at the bottom.
I was at the bottom because I rolled a nat 1.
Okay. Downside, it's your turn.
Okay, drop the bow as a free action, and... What happens if I shoot a bow in close combat deck?
I believe it has the... This one might have the manipulate keyword, which means if they have attackers opportunity, they could take them. Let's see. Range.
Keyword?
Ranger. Range. Range and reach. Range for the road, which wasn't. No, I guess not. I think you just can.
Okay.
I think the thing with range weapons is that longbows and such have a penalty if you shoot at something too close, but short bows typically do not.
Oh, okay. Well, then I can shoot the short bow. That's great. Right. Yeah. Like reeling back from the hideous blows brought by the death fly. Dancer will focus target, seeing that his ally Rogar here is helping to flank, and he will let an arrow loose into the face of this fly.
Hmm. 18, that is a hit.
All right, damage. That is 4 damage.
And the fly is flanking, right?
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit confused. I can see what you're targeting, but 2 of you are green and 2 of you are the same shade of purple. So it's sort of hard to tell.
I'll try to change color, I guess.
I don't worry about it right now.
I don't know how.
The fly now has an arrow like sticking out of its butt.
The question is now, do I try to heal myself or do I try to attack the fly again?
Well,
Probably heal.
you have
if
another
can.
attack, right? You can do both.
No, I can't because doing battlefield healing is 2 actions.
Oh.
Beat quickly.
Battle medicine is 1 action.
It is 1 action.
And
Most
kill this thing before it
most
gets a turn.
excellent,
I
yeah.
appreciate it.
Let's try again. Oh,
Hey, there we go.
That is another hit.
get wrecked, fly. 7 damage.
7 damage.
Maybe?
Oof, yeah, that is enough to
Oof.
pierce it in its abdomen, and it drops.
Right before its turn.
Up and so.
Little legs wiggle for just another second. But just
Wiggle, wiggle. Well then, I have a 3rd attack, and that fly is over there. I might as well, now that I'm out of harm's way. Oh,
yeah, it will have like lesser cover, so +1 to its AC.
okay. So effectively, minus 11 on the attack. That's not gonna
Need
happen.
You might get a crit.
Ah,
You might
just
get a
eat
20.
it.
Sure, I
Okay.
might. I might.
Like, what do you have to lose?
Minus 3 on the roll. Let's go.
There we go.
What he has to lose is arrows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pricey, pricey.
That is
arrows.
true. Like arrows shot are lost.
That's
Period.
All right. Well,
Alright.
that's me.
Rogar. So I have to finish this quick. We do have to finish in 5 minutes because Valky has to go, I believe.
Yep.
All right. Well, then I will not heal. Instead, I will cast defensive spell of days on the fly.
Fly.
Bye, Dave.
Alright.
He's gonna
Basic
do a
will
save.
save.
Aha! Take 3 damage
Hey.
and be stunned. Why?
It's a natural 1.
Maybe that'll be enough.
It will be thoroughly stunned
Uh-huh.
as it is
Nice.
downed.
Pop the fly.
Alright.
Puny brain can't comprehend. Also worth noting, stunned 1 means it loses 1 action on its next turn. It's not
Yep.
like the D&D 5e stun.
Good.
Sadly
That
not,
one
but I'm sure we'll
is
be
really
having
boring.
that change at some point.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, just being able to negate actions from it, really damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still very good.
That
but
days
not, like,
cantrip looks very useful. Very impressed with.
you still get to
Mostly
pay
that
the
it
game.
doesn't miss, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
For someone who does a bit of melee and a bit of casting, it's like my attack modifiers are like 1 lower than they might be, and so
Given that you're like a cleric of like an alcoholic, pretty much, I imagine that you're like shouting some sort of like drunken insult or something at it, just
Yeah.
shock it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
You don't
Once-
know
once-
me.
once I actually get up in like my domains of indulgence, I can actually touch people and make them eat like a whole Christmas feast at once, which does satiate them, but also make them. You know how it is
yeah, I know.
when you've eaten far too much. You're like, oh,
In
Oh.
the middle of battle.
that's what'll happen to them.
yeah, after Christmas
Oh.
feast, you then need to go out and fight.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's what'll happen. So it's pretty. Yeah.
It's the worst fate. Terrible.
The buzzing of flies has mostly disappeared. The other sounds presumably coming from regular-sized insects down in the swamp. You're safe for the time being.
Well, I suppose there's more doors to go through.
Ugh. Yeah.
Anything in there worth this mess?
See a pile of guts and bones.
Say
Well-
short rest is appropriate before doing anything else.
Yeah, we need
trying to
to-
step around it.
Yeah,
no. just
Dancer,
looks like
Dancer
a
is clutching.
bounce.
Is clutching his wounds here.
I'm not searching through that.
I-
Goodbye.
I would appreciate if you could fall back a little bit. I need to dress some of this.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
Yeah,
In-
an hour or two maybe.
Mm.
Allows me to do several treat wounds. Allows
Yeah,
others to
I'm
do the
also
same.
3 hit points. All right. Yeah, we can do that.
I mean, yeah, maybe we retreat. Do we have any room that wasn't like awful?
No,
No, not really. Huh?
it's all garbage
Honestly.
place.
Yeah.
Maybe we can go back to like the antechamber, close the doors a little
I
bit.
think-
Maybe we can be left alone
In
there for
dungeon resting.
for an hour or two.
Yeah, there isn't really any location you've seen so far that would not be disgusting, really.
Well,
I mean, even this room has like faint slime trails from where the maggot just walked around.
but these doors I'm standing with here, they could be closed, right? They were still like
Barely. They're
Barely.
okay, but not great. They wouldn't hold on much.
sure. We could close them though, just to sort of shut off line of sight. We could set up a little camp here.
Honestly, I feel like probably the most secure room is the one we just left here.
Yeah,
'cause
with
we
the
can just lock
maggots.
all the other doors.
Oh,
No, not with the dead horse or whatever. But if we close all the doors and lock that,
sure,
there's
sure.
only one way of this rubble here,
Should have bought a shovel to
That's
just shovel out the filth.
right? And in here, there's like so many different.
Prestidigitation, right?
Yeah, presentation.
I was going to suggest, but yeah.
I talk too much.
Yes,
I know.
while you're dressing your runes for 5 million hours, I can concentrate to clean the room of everything. To be honest, any blood or viscera, probably.
Look at deep clean happening next to
I
surgery.
mean, look, if it helps people chill out, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a valuable service.
Yeah, well, let's see. Larger object a minute per bulk, so I guess like in an hour I could probably clean a lot.
Yeah, a minute per bulk, like the maggots would count as, I believe, 3 bulk.
Yeah. So if we're spending at least an hour here, it's probably more than enough.
Yeah.
Maggots.
It is enough time to like clean up the maggots and part of the frog, I guess, if you want to go that far.
Sure, I mean, if I could do anything else during the rest, really, to help if we're going to take that long.
You can do treat wounds as well, right?
Yeah. Well, you're doing that, right?
I'm doing it on myself. Like at least I'm trying to do 2 rolls on myself to get my hit
Okay,
points
well,
back.
maybe next time, because I actually do have to go now.
Yeah.
But,
Well, we'll just make a hard cut here and then think
yeah.
about it.
Can I do the treat?
yeah, thanks for the session, folks. I will chat to you later.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do your checks. We just have to remember who has done checks. And how long, how much time you're spending here. Like, time is passing.
Oh,
I am also near death. I don't know how this medicine thing works. You have to be like trained in it.
Yeah,
or-
need to be trained in it and have a healer's kit, which I do have.
Okay,
So
that's-
it takes 10 minutes to dress wounds, but then I need to wait an hour before I can do it again. So, but that is only per person. So if I have dressed your wounds, then Thorfin can also
Yeah.
dress your wounds. So that's why
Yeah, we
it's a
can-
good thing to have many people with it, because then you can sort of bundle up.
Yeah. Is that timer like per usage of treat wounds or like per person? Like, is the timer based on you or the patients?
Each person can use cure wounds on someone once per hour.
And if you-
So it's each person.
If you
Got it.
succeed on the initial roll, if you spend an entire hour treating you, you double the heal. So if I succeed on this roll, we can be like, all right, it took 10 minutes to do that, but if I keep going on the whole hour, I can double the healing.
Yeah.
are you sure each person can do it?
Yeah.
To each person? I thought
I
when you
believe-
treated someone's wounds, then they were immune to it for an hour.
From you, I believe.
Let's see what the skill says. Also, I just noticed, Jonas, you do still see Sarah's old token. It's
Yes.
very strange.
Yes. Don't know why, but I
maybe
do.
just reload your phone. I guess at this point it
Doesn't matter.
matter
I'll
anymore.
try next time.
Yeah. That's so bizarre.
So let's see. Medicine.
The mystery for the audience.
Wounds.
What does Armina actually look like?
Oh, yeah. The target is then temporarily immune to treat wounds actions for 1 hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's all of them.
Well, I failed. What happens when I fail? Can I try again, or is it also just like an hour?
If you fail, you just spend 10 minutes and accomplish nothing.
Try again then.
But the target is still immune for an hour. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I only read the first sentence.
Then Thorfin might have to try to heal. We need to spend some time, pretty much, unless you want to spend actual heal.
Well, it just seems like, I mean, I got a very limited supply. I'd rather spend them in combat.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking. So we're going to take
The other thing isn't really available. Over if we're really pressed for time, but I mean,
I will roll. I will take the liberty of roll Thorfin's check on Armina here. We have the same modifier, so I just roll mine again. But okay.
Okay.
Hey. All right, 7, and then we'll say Thorfin goes on with doing that for an hour, so the total heat 14.
14. Thank you. Whoa.
I didn't follow that, but I'll believe you.
That puts me to pretty damn high.
Now we have spent 1 hour. I need to try to spend another hour to heal again.
Yeah.
I just looked at the archive net. If you succeed the check, you can continue treating the target to get additional healing. If you treat them for an hour, you get additional wounds. So you wouldn't spend an hour if you fail. You just spent the 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Of course, I guess you're immune anyway.
Yeah,
You're
that's-
the target is
for an hour,
temporarily
different
immune to
weight.
treat
Yeah.
wounds
It's
for
the
1 hour.
immunity that's the problem. So after the hour has passed, I'll try to heal myself again, and if I don't, maybe Thorfin can.
Thorfin might be able to
Big
heal
deal,
you.
but you like you slap on a crappy bandage.
It's
and-
just switching. Let's see if Thorfin on.
You'd be immune to the effect now, right?
Ugh.
Oh, it's just, I am unable to be. It's just too dirty, or like
Yeah.
sucking wounds.
Brutal.
Can go.
Yeah.
Okay, rest for a third hour.
I mean, you don't really train for like giant fly mandibles when you learn how to treat your
I
wounds.
think Rogar sees this.
It's just it won't stop bleeding. It
Oh,
just
no.
won't stop.
Cayden be with you, friend.
Ugh.
Just gonna put his hand on there. Heal you for 11.
Well, that's the thing. You can spend 3 actions to do an AoE heal, right?
Yeah, but then I don't get the +8, so I'm just doing the
Oh, you
2
don't get the
action
+8.
version, so I get the concentrated healing.
Yeah.
That's how it
Because
works.
I could do the eerie one, but it also heals enemies at the moment, which
How
not so nice.
does it feel to be healed?
You like you get a little bit of a buzz, you know?
All right.
Like you know when you're hurt, you have a little bit, and then suddenly you're like, it's fine. Kind of like that, except your body agrees with you.
I've
this time.
just taken a shot, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa!
Yeah.
All right. Well, Dancer looks over to Rogar and says, "Thank you. I need to practice bandaging more."
So, no, I just at some point you could get infected in this place. I mean, looking at all the things around.
Yeah, Dancer, you do feel a little bit woozy, actually. Like
Oh.
the wound looks nasty. You don't really know. You don't feel anything palpable yet, but there might be something.
Oh. Grimaces.
You look a bit sick.
Strange. I do recall one of the creatures bit me rather nastily before.
But a few of them got in there.
Fine for now, I think, but might need to head back to town before too long.
Yeah, so There's a few more rooms we could look around. I mean, I feel like we should at least... We came all this way.
Absolutely. You know, we'll get up. Try the arm or whatever it was that was healed. You know, a few practice movements, and then nod and says, "Yes, your blessing has taken hold. I fit for exploration."
Excellent.
I need to be more cautious going forward, though. We can't just keep taking hits like this. If there's more creatures like this nesting here.
No, why no one goes here?
Yes.
There's got to be a limit to how much food they can get. They just all eat each other.
Mm.
Right.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for the session, guys. Again, thank you, Sheep, for running it.
It's very fun to basically not have to prep anything except for one of
It's a surprise for you too, yeah.
Yeah,
That's its
yeah.
charm.
I definitely see that being worth the price.
It does give me a bit of whiplash because it means, okay, I don't actually know what this room does. I read all of this, but I don't exactly remember. So there might be some hiccups that just come from, me being used to knowing everything ever because I prepped it or made it myself.
Yeah. That's the thing about the pre-generated or the pre-written stories, right?
Yeah, but I'm
It
enjoying
sucks
this.
to be like, I gotta flip through. I know I read this somewhere.
It's a good old dungeon delve. I try to put some focus on like the NPCs and make the RP a bit more fun. I can tell you the adventure suggests that you start the session by already being in front of this place. Just go. I didn't like that very much.
I think that was a fair call to make.
Yeah.
What didn't you like? Sorry, I had to step away from it.
Now, the adventure as written, which I do want to run the adventure as written because obviously I don't want to start changing things without being familiar with the setting. But the adventure as written suggests that you basically start the very first scene, the very first minute with you standing in front of this place and just already, just go dungeon.
Here it is.
Yep.
Go Dungeon Raiders.
I wanted to put some RP in the front, which I think I enjoyed it.
I believe it is critical to have some RP in the front.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, you gotta be invested.
Good old you meet in a tavern.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
inn.
Yeah.
Well,
especially when the whole town was like, yes, this is adventurous. This is Adventure City. That was like, wait a sec.
Am I an
bunch of
adventurer?
capable people, and we're all being called to a tavern at the same time to help the same person.
Eyes grow wide.
Yeah.
Eyes grow wide with wonder.
I will say though, especially like compared to playing Darius, it's so nice to just be the like, two brain cells working hard, rubbing together.
Could you put on like a
Happy Wonder character?
Put on like a country accent, like she's a farmer
or
something.
Yeah. This is how you swing a sword, y'all.
Yes, I am very much in favor of this. Oh well.
Tomorrow we learn how to hoe down with your hoe down.
You should reflavor your attacks. It's not the grappling strike; it's a hoe down.
It's a hoe down. Yeah.
Like back on the farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, play like a mouth harp.
Yeah. A slide guitar. Of these, yep.
If you ain't wrestled with a fly that's bigger than you, you haven't lived.
All of these, country wisdoms. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Well,
major icons.
I will stop the stream here. Thanks everyone for watching this inaugural episode of Abomination Vaults. We plan to run this Fridays, I believe.
Yep.
Is.
Yeah, Friday. So come join us next week as we delve deeper into this terrible, awful, disgusting place and see what we find.
Disgusting, lootless, full of gremlins.
It's so far it's the worst.
the
No,
worst part.
you're not here for us. We're here for a friend who needs us in this time of misbegotten hope.
I'm here for free lodging, honestly.
It is their time of due diligence that they don't actually believe in.
We'll catch you next week, folks. Bye.